Last week was Father's Day, so we didn't play, although I did have a very special Father's Day game planned that I ran by myself with myself.
Okay.
I don't know how to respond to that.
I'm afraid.
Well,
Because it had important implications, because the plan was that I had pre-made characters and everyone was going to take one of Aruna's siblings.
oh
to
no!
How many siblings does Aruna have?
No! Can we play that instead today? That sounds like fun.
Apparently one for each of us.
I thought Colin was
Either-
going to say we were going to recreate the paternity test.
It was
episode
either
from
one of
Archer.
Aruna's siblings, Aruna's mother, or a member of the Winter Court. I had some pre-made characters, and it was supposed to be about the second stage of the Gloom Sacrament that you heard about, that you already sort of had seen in your head, but it was going to be about that. It was supposed to be a
Right.
Father's Day game.
You probably should have just not told me that, because now I want to play that.
Well, it's too bad because it's time sensitive, because I need to know what happens during it.
That's fair.
All right.
I am sensitive.
But before that, does anybody remember what happened?
Yo, let me tell you what happened. Basically, we were on this ship in a mana storm. We were gonna go through a mana storm. Mana storms are some big shit. It's big business. So Captain Burnesh, we usually celebrate. We have a good time. He's like, "Here's some money. Go gambling. You're on break for the next however long this mana storm lasts, right?" Well, basically, he was acting like a real sussy baka, and he was going like, "Oh, I'm really nervous." I was like, "This is really weird. We never seen him act like this before. What's going on here? Why is he acting like this?" Well, turns out, during this particular mana storm, he has a sarcophagus of the mummy from the 1999 film The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser.
And Rachel Weisz.
Can we have Rachel Weisz?
It only stars Brendan Fraser. There's no one else in the world.
I want to change Connor's previous
What about-
statement.
Brendan Fraser
about
has
Lawson?
Rachel Weisz's body.
People
Hell
love-
yeah.
Wait,
That's peak performance right there.
The brother whose name I can't remember, who plays in Spartacus.
What about
TLDR, TLDR, Captain Burnesh was acting like a sussy baka. The Mana Storm undid the bindings, the magical bindings on this dude's sarcophagus. And what we had to do then was come together and fight him off. And fight him off we did. It was a long, bloody battle. This man was making illusions. Garibs were skittering all over. Kurako was getting erect somewhere where no one could see him. It was a great big battle.
Did
We
he
finally
know?
beat it back to if you don't shut the fuck up, Connor, you weren't here, you don't know. But basically, we did all this, and it was a kawaii sugoi time. We ended right where Captain Burnesh was like, "Well, that's done," and then Colin pressed the go home button, so we did.
That's basically what happened.
That is a very skewed perception of what.
For
You don't know shit. Shut up.
a
when
reference
Kurako got the election, did he
Oh,
understand what was going on?
of a more, I guess, thorough recollection of it, you found yourself sailing into the heart of a massive mana storm, one of the protections around Tidewater Hollow. A mana storm unlike any Captain Burnesh had seen before, like the equivalent of like a Category 5. Just an incredible torrent of wind and waves and magic. But, conveniently enough, Captain Burnesh's boat can deal with that by flipping upside down, and the stuff hits the bottom of the hole and it dissipates, disperses out into the water, just impacts, blasts off it, etc., etc. But he does understand that it is a sort of a scary thing being flipped upside down for the crew, and so he hands out gold for people to gamble with. And there's all sorts of games and things like that, and you did participate in some games. You know, like it was just card games and dice games, etc., etc., etc. But There was like a rock on the ship, as if something had struck it. Something unusual. It's not unusual to be rocked back and forth or there to be some minor impacts. This was not a minor impact. It shook the ship completely. And that caused Captain Burnesh to worry, because it came from the top of the boat, obviously. Not just the exposed part, but the part where his, basically, trove sits. So he went up, and he was gone for a while. And then all of a sudden there was another massive shock that sent the boat just descending into the water like 20 feet. And before bobbing back up on a cork. And all the lights went out, all the magic lights went out. It went completely dark on the boat, except for some vague emergency lighting, held by vestiges of magic within the hull. You proceeded up to basically what was now the top of the ship, which is actually the lowest part of the ship whenever it's sitting in water normally. And while doing this, you saw odd things. The first thing you saw was it almost looked like a person that strolled from one room to another, emaciated, covered in rags. And whenever you sort of went to look at him, all you found was scarabs skittering into the cracks in the deck, and into corners and crevices away from you, away from the light.
And there was like
And-
there's a bunch of illusions, right?
Yes, whenever you descended back to the next level, you saw it almost looked like water, or a mixture of sand and scarabs began rushing in like water, as if the hole had sprung leaks. But that proved to be an illusion. Indeed, there were a couple of very minor leaks, but it was no more than a trickle of water, and you were able to see through that illusion. Go down to, pass through the treasure hoard to the lowest level, and found yourself in a room that was just blasted. Walls of steel and concrete blown outwards away, and through the sort of rubble, through the walls, you could see a beautiful golden sarcophagus and you could hear like banging from inside. And opening the sarcophagus, you found that Captain Burnesh had been sort of bound and sealed in there. You were able to free him, but you learned from him that held within the heart of this coffin was an ancient, primordial being called Gabaz al-Gaib. He was a mummy that was called the Master of Sand and Shadow. He walked this world when the skies were blackened by ash and fire from Hasfadel the Scourge. And, you know, the locks, the walls, the iron sarcophagus, that was less to keep people out and more to keep it in. And it had taken its opportunity in the Mana Storm to spring forth, using the swirling eddies of magic that now, sort of, because of the storm, passed throughout the ship, to escape. And you ended up, you tried to fight him, and were doing pretty well, but he kept healing, chuckling as you tried to destroy him. Every time he was wounded, shadow would begin pouring into the wound and refilling it. And with so many and he could step into a shadow anywhere and come out in another shadow anywhere on the boat. And so Captain Burnesh made the decision to right the boat. It's dark outside, to be sure, in the storm, but there is still light that streamed in from the windows whenever he righted the boat. Despite the fact that it was in the heart of the Mana Storm, when the boat came upright, this light began streaming into the windows. That was enough to basically weaken him to the point that he could be killed, which you did so. sending him back into a mixture of sand and scarabs and ash, now destroyed. In that ash pile, a single beating heart, which you knew he would reform around within 24 hours if it was not burned, basically, properly disposed of.
Did we burn it?
I believe so.
Okay.
We did the thing.
Yeah, no, I told Burnett, I was like, it's up to you. And he said, fuck it, burn it.
Fucking burn it.
We burn it.
But
We burned him
Solid.
balls.
in your triumph, you were left in a vulnerable position. Still in the mana storm, the boat is now upright, being buffeted and blasted by magic and winds and waves. And it takes a little while for the boat to be ready to recapsize. And that's sort of where you left yourself. You're standing on the first, basically on the first deck level, whenever the boat pitches about 45 degrees to the left, sending everyone sort of tumbling to the side. Light of various different colors just sort of passes into the windows as crackling bolts of energy just lance down from the sky, impacting on the steel deck with a loud ting as it sends sparks of beautiful, almost technicolor embers flying. As Captain Burnesh worriedly looks up at the deck above him. And then there is a worse sound. Not the sort of ting of the impact of these lightning bolts on the deck, but a disgusting crack from above. And then
Oh boy.
the sound of an unfurled sail fluttering in the wind, no longer bound within the by the mast. As Captain Burnesh says, "It must have broken some of the fucking bindings, Lou, on the sails."
What did I say?
All hands on
$5.
All hands on deck. 15 minutes. It's gonna be 15 minutes before I can get this boat down again. Everybody, up top, secure everything you can. Hold on fucking tight.
Great.
I want to cast a spider climb on myself and see if I can fix the sails, or at least like tie them back up or
So
something.
the mast is broken.
Oh,
so
yeah, never mind.
Rushing
nothing
up
to
on
fight.
deck, you can see one of the masts has taken just an awful snap right at the top, sending half of it descending into the ocean below. You can see that the rigging still binds it to the boat itself, and the boat is listing hard to the left, 45 degrees. It's acting as a sea anchor, pulling the boat awkwardly to the side. You can see several of the lifeboats are like rocking ominously. The ropes binding them are loosened, not lost yet. The ballastae, one of them has just snapped off completely in the rains and the winds. The other one's being twisted and warped by the actual force of this terrible storm itself. In some places on the deck, the iron has like buckled from the blows of these lightning bolts, these magical bolts that are just slamming down. As you sort of climb up on deck, what does everyone want to do?
This is immediately after, right?
Yes, this is immediately after. You have had no rests.
I have a really dumb idea.
Oh boy.
I love coming
Shit.
some ideas.
Colin, you said
Okay.
the mast snapped. Sorry.
The foremast, the front mast has snapped in half, not at the base, basically the top third of it, that had one set of sails has snapped, and it is currently it fell into the sea, and the rigging is still bound, and it's acting like a sea anchor that's
Can
pulling
I,
the ship to the side.
Can I try to pull it back up? With
Yeah, I was
my
gonna say,
big boy
I was
strength?
gonna ask,
I can
is
do
the
that too.
mast metal or wood?
The master would.
Okay, just checking.
I can help
Dear
Henley,
God.
because I'm a strong boy too.
Wait,
All right.
where are the fucking ship mages?
Steiner's just gonna help too. Is gonna grab it with his mouth and also
It's like
pull.
I'd help, but my arms are gone.
What is your roll for that, Colin? Is that athletics?
Hold on, let me, oh yeah, Adelaide's still below deck. Unless, or, you know what? Adelaide's not gonna, to risk her ass out. You can't risk the Holy Emperor on the fucking deck.
She probably shouldn't anyways, yeah.
So she's gonna stay down below. Alright, people working on the mast, move up here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get on it. This goes
I'm going
Makes
to
sense.
assume I would just be in the way, so I would actually go sit with Adelaide.
Alright. You can see there are, Temujin, Tolonyag, you and several of the other crew members are rushing on deck. There are other things to tend to are the lifeboats are about to be rocketed off. The ballistae are being absolutely like rent and bent in the winds, and this, they're becoming unsecured, about to be ripped off their moorings on the deck. There's a couple of things you can do. There are areas on the deck, in fact I'll go ahead and mark them with X's, where impacts have caused some of the iron covering to buckle in, which is quite dangerous. So there are quite a few things that you could be working on to repair.
Are any of the crew injured from when our friend was present?
Several of them are significant injuries where you had to like knock them out.
We had to knock him out.
That's right.
I
remember.
like the flashes of lightning. That's
Wait.
It's really cool.
Colin, I cannot attempt to right the mast.
You can attempt to pull the mask up on deck at least. Riding it is going to take some serious like carpentry work.
Well, I meant pull it up so someone could fix it. Like I can hold it there. Is what I was getting at.
Yeah.
You can roll an intelligence navigator's tools check.
To move it?
No, to determine if you can do that.
Well, I can't do that. It's the Tolinags to do that. That doesn't even make sense. I wouldn't even fucking know.
Helenly's like, I can lift. Let's lift.
You
Yeah.
can,
go.
you can certainly
lift.
pull it back up. That'll be athletics checks from everybody working on it.
I guess if they're
Well,
doing that,
I got a
I'll work
15.
I'll work on securing ballista.
I'll also roll an athletics check.
Oh, well, mine's pretty good, guys.
I can help hoist it up. I will.
Oh.
I will help with the.
Can since we're all helping, actually, you know what? Before I even say anything, I'll just go ahead and use one of my Indomitables to re-roll. Oh, it's not a saving throw. That's a skill check. Never mind. Never mind.
Oopsie daisies.
Never mind.
Okay, you know.
That is a nice one you got there, buddy.
I have some remaining spell slots if there's anyone who needs a cure wounds.
29 is pretty good though. Let's see.
I
that
lift
is
good.
38, 48.
It's Tommy's Tolanyag, right?
Yeah.
No.
Cody, what's your guy's
Cody's
name?
Oh yeah, I'm Tolanyag. He's
You're Tolanyag.
Yeah.
He's Temujin, that's right.
the
Tommy's the
dwarf.
dwarf.
It is
I'm Mortal Kombat.
You're Mortal Kombat.
with
There you go.
tremendous effort, you are able to hoist it at least up back onto the deck. As it sits there, the sails flapping wildly, having become loosened. Still, the rigging still sort of bound it to it, but no longer acting as a sea anchor at the very least. It's very clear that you are not going to be able to just put this back up in place and repair it during the storm, though. It's too much of a undertaking. It's gonna take, almost take scaffolding. It's gonna take multiple hands climbing up and something to lift it up into place and hold it. It's gonna be impossible to do in the storm. However, with it on deck, you can secure it, and hopefully once you're out of the storm, fix it.
Beast.
Alright,
Can we list? We only lost one sail, right?
you only lost one sail, and you only lost the top half of that sail. There's still the bottom sails on that mast still.
Do we want to? Or I'm downstairs. Sorry.
Now, let's see. There is a terrible flash from above as the entire area is lit up as a arcing red bolt of lightning is going to slam down right on.
It's on me.
It's gonna be on
It's me.
group.
Oh no.
Currently group 2, which is only Reed, because it'll be
God
group
damn it.
1, group 2,
Damn, bro.
group 3. At
The
this
guy
point.
with evasion over here.
Lou is a group of his own.
All right, give me a dexterity
Finley
saving
Vale's
throw.
fat joke.
Literally the best person
yeah.
to get lightning
It's the type of
strikes,
person
like,
you want to actually be able to.
If I had to pick somebody to get struck
Alright.
by lightning, it would definitely be a
That's-
Sears.
Did you just roll a 20?
Yes.
There you
Alright.
go.
All right, you're good.
Lou
it's-
ricochets the lightning back
you
at the
can
sky.
see there are like fiery embers that burst forth from it, but you're okay pretty easily as you sort of dodge down, and they land on the ballista a little bit precariously, but it's quickly put out by the actual rain that sort of spins and swirls all around you. It looks like the ballista is gonna be easy enough to secure. It was, it had its, basically its, like, the string that was cast across it taken off. Looking at it, however, you get the feeling that, what needs to happen is you need to basically, the long arms of it are bolted in place, and you're going to need to remove the bolts and just take the arms of the ballista off completely.
Ouch.
I thought I would just be like lashing it down with rope or something, but okay. What kind of roll would this be to unbolt and remove the arms?
It is going to be some sort of, it'll be either a tinker's tools or blacksmithing tool or carpentry's tools dexterity check.
I have 2 out of the 3 of those.
I've got a loot.
I actually don't have any of those tools. I have proficiency in Smith's tools,
That
but I don't
yeah.
have the tools.
Didn't you had Smith's tools at some point because you did something with the druid, right? I swear you did something with what's her name, Abigail. Abigail.
I believe so. So yeah, I don't have the tools necessary.
I'm already doing something else, so I guess I would not be able to help with that yet, so.
What do I do if I don't have the tools?
You can try to use an improvised set of tools from, like I said, there's tools that you can get your hands on.
Okay. So then that would, but still, improvised. Okay, so I got an improvised set of tools.
Yep.
What am I rolling?
Give me a tools dexterity check with disadvantage.
Always believed in you, Reed.
Okay, and then
Have you?
what kind of tool? Just to make sure, what kind
It's
of tools
Smith's
did you say it
tools.
was? Okay, so it is. so I do get proficiency.
It'll be Smith's tools, Tinker
And
tools, or
Tinker.
Carpenter's tools.
Alright, that's an 18.
That's pretty good.
There you go.
It takes a little bit of work, a minute or two, but you are able to go in, and the arms themselves are held in place by, even though the arms themselves are wood, they're held in place by large sort of steel bolts. And you're able to take the bolts off and very carefully remove the arms, so it's no longer flexing and awkwardly about to break these arms off of it. And so it
One
works out.
down, like 6 to go.
What is
The
everyone
right
else
idea.
doing?
Alright, so I'll be right back. I gotta go drop Joe's dinner off.
I'm gonna try and repair the bent-in flooring. I thought that's what that is right there. Right?
Yeah, it's a area of crumpled flooring.
I will also try and repair crumpled flooring.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast meat metal on the metal, and then like just place it
Never
back,
gets
and
old.
then let it go.
I mean,
I hate it.
hey, that's the sort of creativity we come here for.
Is it creative after the 5th time?
I like meat
Yes.
metal.
I
Real good.
chew my bubble gum, and I spit a bunch of it out under the plate and stick it down. There you go.
That's it. I just have to use like brute strength and bend it.
Oh, wow. You're not done already? Weak.
Yeah. I mean, if he wants to use the old 2nd level spell slot to mend a freaking area, I think it works. As it turns into a much more malleable form, as you
Sausages.
are able to, yeah, it turns into sausages. You're able to weave it together like a lattice, and then you just end the spell, and it returns to. It's not like completely 100% perfect, but it's certainly now at least completely like waterproof, and it's not gonna crumple inward from another blast. Let's see, 50-50. Oh, that is a 1. There is another lance of light that echoes down from the heavens above on
Oh my god.
one of the group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. 1, 2. Up. So Ito's not here.
Ito's downstairs.
Captain Burnesh is
You go that.
downstairs working on the
Ito
ship.
literally said, "You go that way. I'll go home."
It comes down on Venta. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
Your rolls are on fire, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I got that 14 to fix this thing.
You
Yeah, it's
take
could be worse.
21 points of
Oh.
acid damage as it lances down and just impacts on the ground right next to you,
Wait,
spraying
I took
you with
acid damage?
With acid damage.
What's spraying me? What?
You're in a mana storm. The damage type is random depending on the roll that I make.
Oh.
It's not
It's a
just.
it's a wild
It's
magic
not just
storm.
lightning that's coming down.
Holy shit.
Acid light.
Okay. That's
It
badass. That's
burns.
metal. That's metal as shit. I like it.
And you can
But
see
that hurts.
it begins pitting the area, the metal area that you're working on. But you are able, with a 14, that's good enough to largely get it repaired. As the pitting is something that is, for the most part, pretty minor. As you get it all back into working in place.
I have a dumb idea, Colin.
We live for
We go
dumb
up-
ideas.
Can I go up for this? Go up to this one?
Yep.
I
I'm
know
gonna
this
go to
is
the bathroom real quick.
this is by no means how the spell works, but can I cast Searing Smite and heat up the plate to bend it back in place?
The whole, I mean, yeah, the whole point is that you're using creativity to think of ways
I know.
to repair it.
Let me see. Yep, Searing Smite makes my weapon white hot, so I should be able to make the plate hot enough to bend back into place.
I have
And
those
then the
lava
rain will cool it down.
I have those lava boots too, so I can assist them with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You both move up to where it's able to.
The image of Rick and Tommy with boots on their hands, bending metal in place. That's
Hell yeah.
so good.
All right. But go ahead and do you have any tool proficiencies in particular that might be prevalent?
I have blacksmithing.
That
And
is
woodworking.
That is good.
Yeah.
Those will both work technically. It just needs to be a set of tools that could be useful for the situation. Give me a dexterity tools check with advantage because it is now heat. The two of you are heating it, making it sort of easier to get back in place. Or actually, it could be a strength or a dexterity. I'll let you choose.
Oh man, strength's like way better. Look at that. So that's a +10 because of proficiency. 27. I don't know if it's gonna be much better than that. Yeah, we'll take the 27 with
All
the
right.
advantage there.
The heated metal hisses, sending steam up into your face as the rain just splatters down on it. But between the two of you, with the ember boots and the basically searing smite, working quickly, you were able to reshape it into pretty much what it's supposed to look like. Definitely good enough for it to be ready.
Enough for government work.
There is, it looks
I don't
like
think you're allowed to say that on Burnesh's ship.
you hear a call from below. It's almost ready, lads! Hold on! People, start getting below deck unless you absolutely have to are working on something right now! As Captain Burnesh it sounds like he's ready to flip the ship, or it's almost ready to flip the ship. But as he does so, there's one more bolt of lightning that comes down randomly on the group. As
Very, very exciting.
goes psh,
That was cool.
1, 2. I need Henley and Temujin to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh my god, you get paladin bonus, buddy.
Aladdin.
Oh, that's not very good.
Paladin.
Dexterity saving throw. What do I add to that, Tommy?
That a 4, add a 4.
I got a 17.
Alright.
Mine was only 13. I don't have very good deck.
Temujin.
Was that with your bonus? Does your aura apply to you also?
Yeah, it's +1 +4 because my dex is only +1.
But no, does your aura apply to you also? Is what I'm
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
it-
The aura is +4.
Oh, it's baked into the roll. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, Temujin, you take 25 points of necrotic damage.
Yowchies.
25, huh?
Yep. Henley, you take half. You pass the save.
That means the
you
sky's an
don't-
undead and I have to kill it.
Unless you have evasion.
12.
Okay.
12 column.
It'd be 25, so it'd be 12 and a half rounded up, so 13.
Oh, 13, okay. I don't think, no, barbarians don't get evasion.
Dear God.
Imagine.
Alright.
Imagine the possibilities.
It's not evasion, you just flex so hard it bounces off,
Alright.
basically.
City skills.
You all, for the most part, the things that can be secured are secured. You don't really, people have been, crew members have been going around helping to fix the ballistae and things like that. Tying down the rowboats and mooring boats. Unfortunately, one of the little boats was lost, but it's not too huge of a loss. As you can see, they scramble below deck. Quickly, you do the same. Hearing Captain Burnesh calling out, "Hold on, boys! We're gonna flip her! I've never flipped her in a storm before, only before him!"
Colin, I had mentioned I was going to go down and heal some of the crew that needed it. How many spell slots do you want me to use?
There's some...
He asked us the most inopportune time.
I was
there's
trying to say so before.
some pretty awkward, like, situations down below where there are plenty of people that are unconscious, having been knocked unconscious, plenty of people that are recovering conscious from having been knocked out, having come under the thrall of Gabaz al-Gaib. You probably need to spend maybe a couple of your spell slots on them, maybe 2 of them.
Okay.
To get like the most wounded up. But
Sure.
for the most part, people are gonna be okay.
Alright, I have removed 2 spell slots, and I would also have like Adelaide come along with me and see if she can help at all.
All right.
I'm back.
She casts, she divine smites them.
Okay, fair.
Good.
I will put them out of their misery.
It's lay on hands, but it's just necrotic damage that kills them.
Ito
Alright.
would watch that and go, that's not what I... Okay.
I'm healing
Oh,
them.
no, not again.
You rush away, sealing the upper deck behind you as there is a quiet suction sound as Captain Burnesh says, "Hold on, lads, I'm flipping the boat!" As all of a sudden it just yanks hard to the left. Go ahead and give me either an acrobatics check or an athletics check.
Everybody?
Everybody.
Acrobatics or athletics.
I got 21 athletics, Colin.
It's pretty good.
19.
12.
30.
14. Tommy, thank you.
It's not too hard of a check, so.
I'm a sailor, though. I should know how to be on a boat.
Is this the who did bad? Did anybody do bad really?
I got a
Nah.
12.
Ito did pretty bad.
Ito's like close to me, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
You're all,
we're just
you're all
trying
kind of below deck.
If we're trying to not like get fucking flipped or slammed into the wall, I'll stick my glaive into the floor and then grab Ito by the scruff of his neck.
Alright. You should
I
stick
dig
it
it.
Let's
in
try
the
to help
floor
him.
and put the blade up against him so he tumbles into it.
I dig it.
That'd be pretty good.
Alright. You're able to... pretty good rolls all around. Pretty good group check. You are able to anchor yourself to the floor with your glaive and reach out and grab Ito right as he's like tumbles, about to slam face first into the wall. Wow, Adelaide got like a 23, so she's good. As she sort of braces herself pretty well, holding on to a hammock and sort of leaning awkwardly as the sound of water slamming into the side of the ship rings in your ears, and then all of a sudden you find yourself just sort of everything getting quiet as you find yourself just below the water. Now the sound of the storm is far distant. You can still hear the thunder echoing throughout the boat, but it's muffled by the water around. And your heart still beating wildly, you're able to breathe a sigh of relief. The boat has held together. You haven't lost the mast. You haven't lost much in terms of anything on deck. You managed to heal the deck so that you haven't sprung any leaks. Well, any major leaks. There's a little bit of a tiny amount of water that's coming in, but that's all. It's not going to be a problem anytime soon. Captain Burnesh comes out and sort of takes off his hat, wipes his brow, and says, "You're all getting bonuses, that's for sure, boys.
Hell yeah, Captain Burnesh.
Drinks all around."
Colin, with Captain Burnesh coming out, I think you named this campaign wrong. It should be called Of Gays and Dragons.
Christ.
Alright, it's time to delete the lightning.
I thought he was gonna say something much worse than that, but that's fine.
It's time to delete the lightning.
Delete the lightning is my nerd
Metallica
cover
cover band.
band.
Absolutely.
Delete the lightning.
Alright, drink flows pretty freely as people recover from their wounds, from their fears, not just of the storm itself, but of Gabaz al-Gaib. And so you continue journeying forward, the ship slowly propelling itself well past the Mana Storm itself. Eventually, the sounds of the storm completely just disappear. No longer is there even vague hints of muffled thunder echoing across the irony hole. It's calm. Peaceful, even. Nothing but the sound of the water and the ocean around you. Looking out the hardened windows, you can see every now and then a fish swims by. But you stare into nothing but black, sort of blue-black void. And then, a faint glitter, as if a great sort of golden horde just glittering below you, catching what appears to be the first little vestiges of sunlight streaming down from above. The inky blackness gives way to shades of bluish green, and you see bursts of color intermingled with this gold. Beautiful coral reefs made of strange anemones and exotic animals, as well as crystalline outcroppings that glow faintly, and scattered in and amongst these outcroppings, gold, treasure, all sorts of incredible, just an incredible bounty of goods, as well as rough, beaten timbers, broken rigging, a mast similar to yours, this one not so lucky to survive, having sunk to the bottom of the ocean. Just a huge amount of shipwrecks, which Gus recognizes. You've arrived at Tidewater Hollow. Gus obviously knows that this is where huge amounts of shipwrecked gold basically collects around here. An enticing bounty for many would-be treasure seekers, but a deadly one. Certainly one that the actual residents of Tidewater Hollow ignore. It is essentially nothing for them. It matters not at all. Captain Burnesh.
Yeah, stuff is shiny, not worth dying over.
It is not worth dying over. It is a bounty of the sea, but it is not meant to be your bounty, not a treasure hunter's bounty. It goes to the great gods that patrol the weird sea, the mighty dragon turtle and the kraken. Captain Burnesh comes to you, Gus, and he says, well, it seems like the storm's ended. Do you think it's safe to right ourselves, or do we have anything else to worry about? Any other sort of strange defenses I'm putting my boat into?
Once we made it into the clear, we should be safe to surface. Make it to land.
Alright, boys. One more time.
This one with feeling.
This time should be the last one for a while, I hope. First things first. I want you to take a big, deep breath of the air, and then we've got work to do, lads. But he goes into his cabin and After a moment, the ship once again begins righting itself, this time more slowly, steadily, as he carefully lifts it up, no longer needing to be in a rush, no longer buffeted by the storm. It emerges from the darkened depths into beautiful yellow sunlight that glitters off the deck, sheened with seawater and various... you can see there's actually quite a few, like, sea animals that are almost, like, collected, all sorts of fish, a couple of sea stars that, whenever you emerge on deck, several of the crew grab the fish and take them below deck for eating later. The other things they just sort of toss over the edge. You find yourself looking out at a really beautiful island. It looks like the beach is made of beautiful sort of white sands, and there are these incredible rocky structures, great they almost look like they're great sort of stony columns that rise up out of the surf. You can see the surf crashes up against them, and all of these rocky structures are covered with lush and verdant foliage. And on each one of these, and these structures are connected by both natural stony bridges as well as rope bridges. On each of these little stony pillars that rise up from the surf, you can see there's a couple of huts that are built on them. Go ahead and get some more. There we go. It's home, Gus. It is Tidewater Hollow.
Yay!
You can see on the sort of moving around the beautiful white sandy shores, family, friends, casual acquaintances, lovers, people that you've met over the past several months. And they look on, several of them taking a step back at the appearance of Captain Burnesh's great iron ship. The younger ones, sort of with fear on their faces, sprint into towards the heart of the island, into the distant tree line, while you can see the stronger, the more warrior cast, men and women, stride forward, each of them wielding any sort of weapon that they can have in hand. You can actually see your father, Cowrie, at the front. He has a trident made of beautiful sort of like mother of pearl that sort of glitters iridescently in the sunlight streaming down. It seems to scintillate with colors that just sort of spread across it. And then it actually sort of disappears in his hand slightly, which you know, Gus, his trident is a magic weapon. It almost has like chromatophores across it that allow it to disappear in his hand. It's just a faint shimmering outline. He gets basically advantage on attacks whenever it's invisible, essentially.
Sick.
Shit.
He strides forward. It's an understandable response. There was some warning that they could be coming from the message, but they still don't trust anything that appears here. What would you like to do?
I'll approach the beach, and when I get close to them, I'll like hold my hand up like halt, and be like, I'm happy for the welcoming party, but honestly, it's not all that bad. I mean, you might need to keep an eye on Ito, but
Hey man, I'm just here for drugs.
these are the mainlanders that have been helping me while I was lost and finding my way back.
Which one's the one you fought mud crabs with?
I point out, Henley.
That's
This
me,
is
sir.
Henley.
Rick, don't make this like your boyfriend bringing you to meet the rents.
As he sort of
I walk up and I grab one of Gus's ass cheeks and I walk up.
This is
I'm kidding.
a wonderful
Don't be
acceptance.
afraid to get a finger in there.
A finger in the bum, baby. How tall?
That's how we say hello on the island.
No, I've heard they have anti-sodomy laws in here.
You
In here?
see that
Lawrence v. Texas got it repealed already.
Cowrie is a mountain of a man. Yes, he is definitely not young. He's got some definite age behind him. His sort of dark, almost purplish black hair is streaked with gray. But he's quite tall. As he leans in front of you, I don't know if he leans over you, but he's about 6'8". His eyes
still taller than
sort
me.
of narrow, and then he sort of smiles broadly. His sort of dark tan skin sort of split by a white smile as he pats you on the back and says, "You must be strong as hell." And he sort of smiles. Like I said, he greets you warmly.
I don't even know how to react to that. I offer to shake his hand,
Uh-oh, here it comes.
or do I give him a hug? I don't know.
Oh, he
No,
hugged.
give him the you son of a bitch
Yeah.
respect
No,
thing.
You
Yeah,
you give him a knuckle breaker, dude.
He sort of clasps your hand and shakes it vigorously. My boy told me about your hunt. Impressive indeed. He told me about
Thank you.
your arrival, and I was distrusting to be sure. But he speaks for you, putting his own life forfeit should you transgress on anyone.
I'll do my best not to. And your son is a hell of a hunter, if I might say.
And sexy.
Transgress all over D's nuts.
Oh man, the love triangle between fucking Adelaide, Henley, and Gus.
Oh god. So wait, hang on. Am I part of two love triangles right now? I've
Yes.
got Gus, Rick, and or Gus Henley and.
So it's
Adelaide.
actually Rick.
It's
Rick's a
actually Rick.
Weird fucking.
But, and then we've got what? Klaus, Siegfried, and again.
It was Henley until Gus got involved. Now it's Rick.
My name is High Chieftain Cowrie. Welcome to Tidewater Hollow, my friends. You're most welcome here. Most welcome. He sort of smiles and motions for you to move up the beach. You can see within the tree line there are beautifully crafted, like, they look like huts made of like really rich sort of dark like shining wood, a mixture of like beautiful sort of red mahogany and palm woods. But you see several of these, their actual roofs are not made from palm fronds. They're basically well supported turtle shells that are maybe 30 feet across, 20 feet across, held up by either a mixture of stone pillars or stout columns or wooden columns and beams. The people here are friendly, bright people. As you walk up, you're offered many sort of gifts and dishes to eat. All sorts of bounties of the sea. Fish both cooked and raw. Strange kind of mollusks. Some sort of interesting fleshy white meat that's vaguely chewy and tastes of salt and sand.
Dude, this art is dope as fuck.
Are we eating anemones or something?
You can roll.
Oh shit! I didn't
a
even see the art.
nature check.
I'll take a nature check to figure out what this is. Probably have no clue, but I'll try.
Oh, where'd you find this picture?
The internet.
Hell yeah! I rolled my
Jesus.
Oh
second
my
nat one of the
God.
day. My
It's
second nat one, it's a 0.
it's not you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know what it is, but it doesn't taste bad. It's a little bit.
It's hopefully edible.
It's edible. It's a little bit
That's the name of my
chewy,
restaurant.
but
Hopefully,
Yeah,
edible.
try it with the dip. You gotta try it with the dip.
It's legit.
That's the appetizer at my restaurant.
Do they got ceviche?
they got it all, baby.
Hell yeah, I want
They-
some ceviche.
They ain't got no fucking limes.
Sashimi?
There are no limes in a tropical island?
Nope.
Don't be racist. Calm down.
What the fuck am I gonna put in coconut then?
Thank you.
Captain Burnish, looks around sort of in awe as he sort of mutters, "You know, I heard about this place, but I just didn't even know if it was fucking true or not."
Take it in, Bernesh.
Take it in, pretty boy.
He follows you as you head towards your home, Gus, the home of your family, as you follow behind the tall, sort of jovial Cowrie. His hair catching the sunlight. I have a token for Cowrie. Let me
Gus is like full blown
Gracie.
anime
Gracie's,
pose, elbows
Gracie's
up.
scratching.
It's like
God damn,
never
Grace.
relax.
Stop scratching, Gracie, idiot.
Stop scratching.
However,
fucking
this is
neck like
a very, very large thing, so the token is going to be tiny. I have to make it a lot bigger. This is a big picture. Where is the token?
This episode is sponsored by Steam Big Picture.
This episode is sponsored by Flea Medicine for Dog.
Beaver's dad looks like the
Oh,
monkey
dog.
Santa from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
That's true in real life as well.
I'm Senator Bernie Sanders, and I support this message.
I do too. Alright.
Colin.
Yep.
Shit, I had a Bernie Sanders. Oh, what was it?
Colin, what about our reward for the mummy? You said we had to make a choice.
Yeah, you get to choose
Okay, I was just saying something before we get like too lost in it and we
Yeah.
get like go move past it. I didn't know if we were getting it from Burnesh or
it,
later.
you get it from Burnesh. He's pulling
Okay.
a magic item from his treasure vault to give to everyone.
Oh,
I was just making sure.
look at this! Look at this dude! Look at this dude!
Alright.
Big food.
You can see that it looks like they were sort of expecting you. As Gus, your family is there. Besides High Chieftain Cowrie, there is Gus's mother, the High Priestess. She is beautiful. Her hair is almost platinum silver, a mixture of platinum silver and platinum blonde, hanging sort of lank and long down her back. There is what you can only describe as a brick shithouse, standing well over 7 feet tall, just rippling with muscles, is Bahaka. He looks down at you with a little bit of a gleam in his eye, as if he's sizing everyone up. A little bit of a sneer, as if in his own mind he's like, I could probably take him. There is a younger one, Kiri. You can see she wears what appears to be beautiful sort of tourmaline robes that sort of cling tightly to her, leaving little to the imagination, as it's just barely one step away from Gossamer. Her eyes glitter silvery, and yet they also seem to change color wildly, moving from silver to blue to red to purple and back to silver, as she sort of has to close them for one moment and breathe a sigh before she opens them again, and they are now just pure silver, no longer moving through a colored wheel.
The
Then,
storm's so getting to you, huh?
yes, Kiri, she always tries desperately to control her magic.
One-
And then, the youngest, Hahona, she looks on. She's by far the shortest, quite stocky, but she looks on with sort of excitement and anticipation. The first real strangers she's ever met, as she immediately, somewhat, a little bit almost rudely, rushes up to Venta, and she says, "Where are you from? Where'd you come from?"
The Ile de Royhan.
I don't know where that is, but it sounds really cool. Gracie, no one's here. You're dying.
I lean down. I'm like, it's like the mainland, but it's not the mainland.
I turn slightly toward Ito, and I point at him and I say, he knows all about the Ile de Royhan.
Dad says we really shouldn't trust mainlanders that much, but they seem okay.
Ito looks
I'm not-
around, points at himself, and goes, "Who, me?"
She rushes over to Alakul. If you rub your legs together, does it, like, chirp?
Oh
Nick's
my
officer
God.
has to answer that for him.
Wow, just straight up racism, shaking
Yeah.
my head.
SMH.
It's like the first black guy off a plane in China.
Oh,
You know,
Yao
that's,
Ming.
that's kind of funny though.
His name was Yao Ming.
She rushes
Yao Ming
over.
was the first black guy off a plane. in China.
Yes.
She rushes
Yes,
over to Reed. You're about my size. Do you wrestle?
Your ass.
Lou.
Please
My
don't say
formal-
only in the sack.
Christ.
He says, "I know."
That's a good one there.
only for money.
My style of fighting takes a much more disciplined approach.
He says.
Yeah, it involves losing.
Whew,
Alright, Lou, what are you eating?
It's
a
pickle.
pickle.
Pickles are fucking gross.
I-
Anyway.
Shut the
What?
fuck up, idiot.
Pickle.
Wait a minute.
Shut the fuck up,
You
idiot.
are being.
You ever heard-
Terrible.
Have you ever heard somebody so wrong?
Yeah.
We prefer to call them green glizzies.
It's
Hahona.
not like it's a
No,
fried
no,
pickle
we
or
don't.
something.
We don't. Call him
All
that.
right,
Shut
all
the
right.
fuck up.
Just shut up.
We
You're-
don't say that here.
You're being rude to our guests now. They seem tired, and we are welcoming them into our homes to rest and hear what they have to say. They must have something important indeed to have risked everything just to come speak to us. You'll have time to ask all the questions you want eventually, but let's let them rest. As he pats her on the head as she sort of shuffles back in line. And that brings us to the heart of the matter. Why are you here?
Well, my time on the mainland has brought me to this prophecy. Given kind of been playing out over these past few. Oh God, how long has it been? Like in
About a year, I think.
About a
Yeah,
year.
it's been about a year.
Year and a half.
So for the better part of a year, this prophecy has been playing out,
See.
and it seems that the next step for us is here. We could find the next clue or the next item, whatever it is that will move us along, move us forward.
Hey, Colin, can I ask a dumb question and then I'll shut up?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to be, like, RPing as Aruna and having Karakwa on a leash here? Because this is more relevant to her than it is.
You can. Or you can
Okay,
leave
cool.
Karakwa on the boat.
It's
Yeah, I
moving
know.
along.
And talk to him about, like, what should we do?
I feel like I would have a belt on and it's got a rope and it's attached to Karakwa's waist and I have to try to keep him in place.
I hate that I've actually
I-
seen parents do that.
I know.
I hand Karakwa a coconut and say, have a ball, buddy.
Yeah,
Have fun.
I feel
Have yourself
Instantly hurts himself.
I feel like I can't do much else other than talk and keep track of Karakwa, so yeah, I'd bring him with me. Cool.
This is our pet cripple and her pet.
God damn.
As you hand him the coconut, you can see Arona.
I'm sorry.
No, we've got Aruna and Arona.
Why have you done this to yourself?
Oh my god.
Arona was named before Tommy ever joined, technically.
I don't think her name was it?
It's Arona Arcana Cleric, 47-year-old, one of the 12 pieces serving at Temple.
Oh, right. Look, it's been a while since I played this one.
This is Arona, this is Aruna, and this is Arita, and we also have...
Jackass, I'm Johnny Knoxville!
Oh,
Damn it.
You can see she gently places her hand on Karakwa's cheek and looks deep into his eyes as she says, "This one has been afflicted. His mind is broken. I can repair it, but it will take some time."
Is Nick okay? He's been gone for, like, a while.
He just got up like a minute ago.
Did he?
He's
Yes.
pooping, leave him alone.
No, I mean, one of them's pooping, but it's not him.
But
Could
she
be him.
says she can repair Karakwa's mind. She can fix that.
He's literally looking at Karakwa and saying, I could fix him.
I can fix him. It will take a little bit of time and effort, but this malady of his broken mind can be reversed. It is something I can do.
Can you do anything about her arms?
That is more complicated, I'm afraid. It is
Lou, you can't just arm someone.
very difficult to regrow into something that
Springs
is
on her
completely
arms like
lost.
that game.
I mean, I've got some sticks. We just kind of strap them to the shoulder,
You could be Twigman.
to the nub.
To the
I suppose. She looks over at Cowrie. I suppose if they were to prove themselves, she could fix her.
Well, we fail.
What exactly do we need to prove?
Cowrie just sort of smiles and says, "There's no need to discuss such heady matters as soon as you've arrived. I'm sure you're all very tired, and I'm sure you're all quite hungry for something other than sea rations and dried meats and the occasional fish. Please, please."
Is he, like, trying to filibuster us?
He has tried to just sort of move past that.
Okay. But, I'm sorry, can I get a read on, like, is he just being a good host, or is there something he's
And
trying to avoid?
roll an
Maybe that would be an
Insight
insight check.
That's,
Oh my
that's
God.
what I was asking. I don't determine that, Colin does.
I mean, you could just ask.
21.
Can I roll an insight?
That's not what you're supposed to do.
I don't care, you're dumb.
Yes, both. He's trying to be a
He's-
good host, but he's also just trying to move past it as well.
Move past.
Bringing up, talking about doing something and doing something for her and proving yourself.
What's the time of day?
You arrived about mid-morning.
Okay. I'm gonna, with all due respect, took us a long time to get here, and as much as I'm sure you are all excellent hosts, we have many, many things that are requiring a great deal of our time. If we could move forward so that we can get what we need and continue on about our way. I'm sure you're an excellent host, and I'm sure your house means us no ill will, and we don't mean any on our own, but the journey here has been suffering, the journey away will be suffering as well. I'm sure we will learn to enjoy your bounty as long as we progress our goal.
I just look at Cowrie and, like, shrug.
Very well. But he does look at you. A sort of.
Looks at Ito.
He looks at you, Gus. And he kind of sighs and he says, "And you do speak for them, Tangaroa?"
I do. It's all business on the mainland, but this is
All business.
very important business.
I still.
We wouldn't be here if it was for something trivial.
Very well.
This is more than just a vacation.
Very well.
It's a bit out of the way to begin with.
Tangaroa speaks for you, and so I will answer your questions. What would you like to know? This time, the truth.
I will look at Gus and I will sigh. And I will say I apologize because I know that this is speaking out of turn. And I know that this is not how this kind of thing is handled. But our needs are many and our needs are great. I ingested a substance about a year ago that led me to see visions of things that became the truth, and I'm told that you here have more of this substance.
Kalam.
Yes.
Weed.
I need the drug.
Seek the wisdom of ancestors past.
Something like that.
It is grown in the heart of the island. It can be prepared for you. It is a sacred drink. You must purify yourself before you undergo its trial. Fasting, drinking nothing but a mixture of water and honey. After that day, you will step into the ocean, bathing yourself thoroughly, putting yourself and emerging from the surf, removing all of your clothing, and then, bare, pure, you can undertake the trial of Kalam.
Done.
I'll do it right now.
But
He's like, all right, get naked and drink this. You'll be all right.
Can I butt chug Kalam?
That's oh my god! If you get told to leave the bar because you order some, I don't think you're allowed to butt chug it.
that is a sacred drink. You've offended me by asking that. Please leave.
Oh my god.
I mean, to be fair, how else is she gonna drink it? She ain't
How-
got no arm.
She ain't got no eyes.
How is she gonna put it up her ass?
You sit on
Someone
it,
else
and you just
does.
roll over.
Assistance.
I still have
By that
a
logic,
mouth.
you throw it on the ground, she can just lean down and pick it up like a fucking bird that dips in the water.
If your
Give her a
ancestors,
straw.
if
Nick
your
Stoneface.
shut up, shut up. If your ancestors have something to say to you, you will see it. But be forewarned. You purify yourself thoroughly, because if you do not, in your visions, the follower will get you.
Good to know. Thank you.
So am I the only one that's gonna? Who's the follower?
It's the Dahaka from.
It's
Prince
that
of Persia.
motherfucker from It Follows. It's that shape-shifting fucking STD motherfucker that just kills you.
That's a better one than mine, to be honest.
A shadow.
It Follows.
Oh, never mind. It is the Dahaka.
In the visions, it will watch you, follow you, closer to you. And if you do not see what you need to see by the time it is upon you, it will rip your soul away from your body.
Brutal.
So is this? I got up for a couple minutes. Is this an Ito only thing, or is he offering it to anybody?
He'll offer it to anyone, but it also requires that your ancestors have something they want to show you. If they don't have anything they want to show you, it just doesn't do anything.
They want to show me lizard bussy.
Well, I mean, would that be? I mean, are there enough Moon Elf ancestors that I might actually glean information?
2.
There could be,
You get
but
2.
again, it relies on them wanting to show something they need. They feel like they need to show you. That is important within the past.
That's fair.
He's gonna fucking bring up his great aunt. You never call Aruna.
Christ.
Beaver, I'm genuinely afraid at how good that was.
And then,
My grandma's like,
Wazowski.
should it be that your soul is ripped from your body, you don't die here, but you are listless and lost, little more than a shell. The common practice under the failure is that we place them face down in the surf and let them have some sort of rest. If you fail, they're gonna drown you.
hell yeah.
A life without a soul is no life. But
Oh my
if you're
God.
willing to undertake that risk, with Tangaroa speaking for you, I will see that it is prepared.
Appreciate it.
Max is dying of like some sort of sinus infection.
I know. All I hear every 2
awful.
seconds is.
Oh shit! I'm still on open mic because of Monster Hunter. 1 second, let me put on push.
Because of Monster Hunter.
That's not an excuse.
Dying.
I
Too intense.
use a controller when I play it, so I can't. It's weird. Okay.
The only
continue.
one who's allowed to be on open mic is Colin, and that's because his mic is so good it doesn't actually pick up shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I am
Until the baby comes
Yeah,
in.
unless,
Yeah, until the
unless
dog
Chrissy-
barks or the baby comes.
Why are we making the baby come? That's so weird.
Because the baby comes over every now and
Shut
then. I
the
gotta be gross,
Fuck
man.
up, Max.
Alright.
You fool.
It's gonna take, it will take at least some time to prepare, to gather and prepare the Kalam. You'll have to, like I said, you're gonna have to fast for at least 24 hours. The longer you fast, the better, realistically. Failing to fast significantly increases the odds that the follower gets you, whenever you descend into this important memory.
Is this the same person that we would ask about how to help our disabled friends?
We already addressed that, I think.
Yes.
I'm
I
disabled.
think you were up.
Well, Cody, they
I
did that
was
about Aruna.
presuming retard dog.
Man.
There was, immediately, Gus's mom recognized that Karakwa's mind was broken, addled. He was afflicted by a broken mind, and she said she can fix it. There is a ritual that they can do. Basically, she can cast Greater Restoration. She's a
That's not the only woman who's ever looked at me and said, I can fix him.
Oh no.
she is a pretty powerful cleric.
What about Aruna?
I
That's,
need arms.
that is more complicated. They did say something about, there was a brief mention that maybe
You're a cleric
she
of
can
harm.
maybe she can fix her arms, but they didn't go into more detail than that, as they sort of brushed past that.
We must first kill a bear, and then bring not 1 but 2 amendments.
I said, can I just go like kill a giant starfish and attach its?
Why?
Yeah, you get, but you grow starfish arms.
Yes.
Starfish regrow their limbs. God, Connor.
But you get starfish arms, so.
Hey,
Yeah,
if we
didn't you just
combine
get someone-
Aruna with Karaka, we get a starfish. They can regrow their limbs and they have no brain.
It's true.
Perfect.
We could just have Aruna ride on
I'm trying to,
Karakwa's back, like, Master
Like a
Blaster.
Mecha Shiva.
I'm trying to decide exactly if I want to sort of rush this so you can get out the weird sea, or if
You always rush things. Stop rushing things.
I mean, we literally delayed an entire week because Connor said he wasn't going to be here and then was here.
That is true. We did do that.
he, Calorie is happy to let you undergo the rite of Kalam, and Arona, not Aruna, Arona, is happy to break the feeble mind on Karakwa. Regrowing Aruna's limbs, the stuff about the turtle, they're a little bit more hesitant. For good reason, as you know, Beaver, to expand upon that. Even with your word, this is such a sacred and important thing to them, even by your own word. They are very reluctant to speak more on that matter. But Calorie is willing to let you prove yourself, not just to him, but to the tribe. He motions out to the great, vast sea and your ship, and he says, if you want, prove yourself completely to us. There is something you can do.
And what's that?
The great beast that dwells in the depths of the weird sea. The great terror. The Kraken.
Yeah.
He is the antithesis of our god.
The turtle, right? Wasn't it the turtle?
Yes.
There's the turtle, yes.
Turbo good, Kraken bad.
No, I remember that. I just couldn't remember the name.
He sort of looks out. They have been in a struggle since the very world was created. Tangled with each other when the great primordial ones walked this earth. There's a cycle that repeats over and over again. And so, my people, the worshippers of the dragon turtle, of the good that he spreads throughout the region. So it is our cycle as well. A paradise whenever his strength is at its fullest. Well, difficult whenever his strength wanes and the Kraken rises. Neither one can be killed. Not true. They die and enter a cycle of rebirth.
I'll be back.
The great dragon turtle, atop his mighty back, amidst the flora and fauna, sits his own egg from which he is reborn. The Kraken, when he dies, sinks to the bottom of the ocean, forming a great trench. And from his carcass, he is reborn. Right now, the dragon turtle enters the final phase of its life, while the Kraken remains strong. But were someone able to kill the Kraken and forced to enter its rebirth cycle at the same time as the dragon turtle did, it would be an equilibrium. No toil for my people. No Great storms, tsunamis buffeting the island. No corruption spreading amongst people of the island, my family. If you are able to kill the Kraken, I imagine the Great Turtle would be willing to host an audience with you for his final days.
I'm back.
Well,
Hey, same beer club.
didn't come here for nothing, so I guess we have to.
What I miss?
We have to kill the Kraken.
Yay.
You have to.
The actual Kraken?
They want it. They want to force it into its rebirth cycle.
Do we have to do that before or after Karakwa and Aruna are restored?
After Karakwa, before Aruna.
Ouch.
It is gonna take the dragon turtle to fix Aruna's arms completely.
My 2 cents on the issue is, if it's a big risk or not exactly doable considering the time limit we have, it's not worth it.
I don't think it's that.
Tommy,
We're
how many-
being made to prove ourselves to literally everyone under the sun.
I mean,
I mean,
we're
Tommy,
gonna have
how-
to do it in Bayaz, we're gonna have to do it in Gene.
I know. So that, I mean, we're gonna have to do it regardless. So what's the difference?
Tommy, how many of
Okay.
your spells have somatic
Yeah.
components?
I got a question.
Not a lot, buddy.
Do we know of a way to do it, or is it just us having to go fight it? I'm asking him that. Like, do you know of a way to set it into a birth cycle that we can do, or are we just gonna have to go in there and hope for the best?
Kraken's bane poison.
That
Okay.
sounds promising.
So you have a way. So you have a plan then, and then we just need to execute it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's not as bad.
Hold on. If you have a plan and you know how to do this, why haven't you done it yet?
We don't have great boats, weapons.
Good answer.
We have a poison that oftentimes we use to drive the beast away when it comes to the island. Much like smoke in a bee's nest will drive them away.
Also, the Kraken's KDR is like fucking ridiculous. So
No, I know it's dangerous. I just wanted to know specifically why it waited for us.
They don't have boats. They don't have ships like big iron ships.
Those are good reasons.
It's not as simple as you poke it with a dagger with it and it kills it. It's gotta take some pretty significant damage.
yeah, and we're all like highly capable people, like more capable than
Yeah,
a
no.
great
I
sum
know.
of all of these villagers combined. You know.
I know. I just wanted to hear it.
Typically, they use the Kraken's bane poison and disperse it in the water, and it sort of drives shit off. Like I said, like smoke, like a beekeeper in smoke, sort of drive things away.
Could we use it to drive it towards somewhere?
I suppose.
Like a cattle prod?
Potentially, although there's not tons of Kraken's bane poison that we have on hand.
What if we baited it?
Much more likely scenario than hurting it, I think.
What do we have for Kraken's bait?
Well, I point out to the big old fucking ship.
I mean,
Seemed to
it
do the
already.
trick last time.
I mean, it already failed to kill us once, and
That wasn't the real thing, though, right?
Oh, it was.
Oh,
But
it
you
was?
sort of drove. You didn't kill it. You just took it, sort of hurt its eyes and made it run away, basically.
Oh man.
I thought that was like a shade or something. Okay.
I hope fucking Asmodeus is sitting down because he's gonna want to be when he sees what he's about to get.
I hope
Jesus.
Hell has a big fish tank.
Do Do you think it's like, you know, American Airlines where you have to pay for extra seats?
What do you
Nice.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean, you people?
All right, Lou, take him to a racist place.
I was about to say, yeah. What the fuck's up with that, man?
Shaking my head.
I feel like Robert Downey Jr. took it to a racist place
He
without being racist.
he sort of eyes you, Ito. You'll be able to lead. Don't worry.
Don't like that.
I don't like how he said that.
He points to your holy symbol.
That's nice. Where'd you get that from? That's what he
Barack was
says.
like, huh?
And I have to do this on an empty stomach?
I think you can Kalam before we do it, can't he?
Yeah, you were literally
Uh,
getting columned beforehand.
Okay, okay.
You don't.
Sorry.
There's not like an immediate time limit. You have to do it now.
Wait, okay, Colin. If he did do it that way,
I thought-
wouldn't that be a level of exhaustion?
I thought the Kraken thing had to happen before all of the other stuff. My bad.
No, that's why he said do Ito's thing, fight Kraken, fix Aruna.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
He goes Karakwa, you, Kraken, Aruna.
Save the cheerleader, save the world. Got it.
Very well. I'll see the Kraken's bane poison is prepared. You have a day of fasting ahead of you, young man. Alright. Have fun drinking water and honey, you dumb bitch. The rest of everybody else is gonna feast.
Make sure Karakwa eats a shit ton of food.
I'm gonna fast with Ito.
I am gonna walk around on the beach.
Alright.
I'm gonna get a giant hunk of meat and eat it in front of Ito.
I'm gonna eat just to spite Ito.
I think that's what everybody has said they were gonna do.
I don't
I'm
eat actual
Wait,
food.
idiot.
Connor.
Wait, why wouldn't Alikul wanna do Kalam? I feel like
Well, it relies
Uh,
pretty much
queen.
entirely on if you have ancestors
Wait.
that want to talk to you.
Right.
Which
Whoa, wait.
is not a guarantee.
Colin,
Mhm.
Oh shit, is Headley about to fucking...
I was gonna
I
say,
asked
wouldn't
you-
like all of us want to try it?
if I take Kalam, could I communicate with a god?
No, it's not.
So
like
I couldn't talk to Uller with it,
No,
possibly?
it's not a.
Would
It's
you
not a.
want to?
Its strict purpose is if you have some sort of ancestor in your line that wants to talk to you, it will show you visions, but it doesn't let you like talk to gods or anything like that. It has a
Dude.
single, pretty strict purpose.
Would I have ancestors within the Wild Hunt?
You don't know, but possibly not. Probably not.
Okay, no, it's
Worst
not,
case-
I won't bother them.
Worst case scenario, it doesn't work, you know?
The worst
Should-
case scenario
yeah,
is
but
it
I'm not
doesn't
gonna
work.
fast myself for it.
Alright. That'd be cool.
Also, to risk the pursuer coming after me. Should Adelaide do it?
Yes,
Oh shit.
I was about to suggest that actually.
I mean, do you want to risk the Holy Emperor possibly losing her soul?
I mean, if you think about it, every day that she's
Boy, wouldn't
with
that
us is a risk.
yeah, boy, wouldn't that be inconvenient?
I mean, she's already lost her soul. She's in a relationship with a
Yes.
commoner.
It's true.
It is definitely a
I-
possibility for Adelaide.
I mean, I would at the very least mention it to her and let her know that I think it's a good idea.
Go.
Not
and
saying it'll be
she
fun,
sort of says, "Go an entire day eating nothing but water and honey."
I'll be honest, that is the least of the concerns that you should have.
Yeah, that's not true. She can eat pussy too.
Damn.
What about eating ass?
Yeah, swallow.
Oh, she can't swallow though. So if she can't, you know. Oh, well,
She sort of.
Shut
Shut the fuck up,
Does she
man.
swallow a commoner's
She
seed?
said. She sort of shrugs and says, "I suppose it's not that."
A
big."
marine?
She'll do it. She'll do it. All right. There are games and you have to answer just tons and tons of questions from the people of the island, as they're constantly wanting to know about the mainland, about where you're from, especially Hahona, the youngest sister of Gustav, running around asking just non-stop questions. Like I said, she asked Alec Cool if he rubs his legs together if it makes cricket sounds. Like,
It does not.
Yeah, we already
It
answered.
should.
We said it did.
and like
It does not.
and like it's just like, oh, you live in like a hive, and she's constantly asking just tons and tons of questions.
It doesn't make cricket sounds. It makes the sounds of like skeletons rising from the grave.
She asked you if you want to watch the movie Drumline with her and things
No,
like
I
that.
don't.
Correct.
The movie's fucking
Oh,
awful.
God.
She asked if you have any games on your phone.
Yeah.
She
Do
asked
you
you
play
if,
Fortnite?
she asked you if you like
Oh, she got the runny nose
Minecraft,
and everything?
and stuff like that. She asked you if you have like a YouTube channel and stuff like that. If you
Are
like
you a YouTuber?
TikTok.
I tell her I drink blood and she should probably leave me alone.
She asked you what blood tastes like.
Like metal.
All right. She goes and she drinks
That's-
blood.
Was
That's
that
meat metal on her.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Yo, dude.
All right.
I
But
always yell at my girl in her period because that shit tastes like pennies, and you know a motherfucker all about his money.
What?
anybody gonna touch that?
nope.
Fantastic.
I did us all a favor there.
Thanks.
I
I appreciate
think
that.
so. No, hit him again.
All right.
Hit him with another one.
On the bright side, you can get Karak. You're going to
What
be
do you
able to
get back?
get Karakwa back, as she can cast Greater Restoration to end Feeble Mind, or Arona can cast Greater Restoration to end the Feeble Mind spell. But you know,
Must be nice.
Greater Restoration ain't gonna heal your arms, unfortunately.
If
Wait.
Arona-
Doesn't Cody have regeneration? He can actually grow my arms back once he comes back, maybe.
That's what I've been wanting to do, but I
Right now,
can't because
though,
I'm
he's
stupid.
a dummy.
No, I'm saying when we get him back.
Well, yeah,
Perfect.
exactly. That's the whole problem. Is that you can fix his issue, he can fix your issue, but you guys both have the issue.
It's like
No,
college
no, no.
days
What
when
I'm
he's
saying
doing-
is Colin was saying we had to do the dragon turtle thing, but I forgot that Cody just has regrowth or whatever.
We'll
Regeneration.
see what happens if Karakwa gets restored and he
Yeah.
tries to cast it.
I can't wait for Karakwa to become
Um,
like lucid, see Aruna's arms, and go, "Oh my God, Aruna!
It's fine.
What happened to you?
What happened to you?"
Nah.
Oh my god.
You lost your arms in battle. Oh, how terrible. But you
Yeah,
got some
exactly.
nice boobs.
I am.
Thank you.
Give her a noodly appendage or two.
Gather. Yep, you were gonna do something.
I was actually gonna say I was gonna BRB unless there's something happen right this second. I can wait.
I think limbs should lurk like senses. So if you lose like her arms, her boobs get bigger, you know, to compensate.
You are going, like
You
I
mean
said,
they don't?
by that night, as the sun sets in the sky and there's this sort of beautiful cascade of stars, fires are lit in near the beach, and Arona has prepared herself to cast the Greater Restoration, as you lead Karakwa back to these in amongst this circle of villagers. They look on with anticipation, as standing amidst the crashing surf up to her knees, you are led inwards next to her as Arona takes you, Karakwa, and you can see she closes her eyes, whispering prayers, just quiet enough that you can hear them in a language you don't understand. The sea glows faintly, bioluminescent algae sort of lighting up as the waves crash around the two of you, as she takes your chin and wraps her hand over like your eyes, and then as her voice raises up from a whisper all the way up to where she's shouting into the ocean itself. She dumps you beneath the water and holds you there for a few seconds, then 10 seconds, and as you wait 30 seconds,
Just
and as
fucking
you
drowning him.
feel, right as you feel you're at the burst of drowning, she yanks you up.
That's minutes, by the way.
The spell casting on you as a greater restoration. You initially have only animalistic urges to get out the water, and then slowly the question of why am I wet, and also where am I, and what just happened, as your intelligence slowly sort of comes rushing back to you.
Wait, how slowly? Because there's going to be
Over
a
the
point
course
where we
of-
can fuck with him, but he's not going to understand
It's over
it.
the course of a few seconds.
And if I'm hungry, I'm totally taking advantage of that point.
Wait, did Karakwa see a Vaporeon? Is that why he's wet?
Um,
Alright, the ritual complete. She has cured your feeble mind.
Oh my god.
I'm like snap my fingers in front of his face, like, how many fingers am I holding up?
Wait, who are you?
What about now?
Are you just Gus now?
I mean,
Bruce
Better than
fell
Bruce.
overboard. You didn't know?
Oh, okay, I was just
You
Yeah.
making
didn't.
sure.
You didn't survive the mummy fight.
How long has it been?
So Gus just did the fingers holding up thing, right? So I'll go up and I'll wave my nubs and be like, how many fingers am I holding up, Karakwa?
Me actually trying. The two people who complain the most about not trying.
No,
Trying.
I'm being serious. I'm gonna meme the shit out of Karakwa. I come up and just ask, how many fingers am I holding up?
Rockwell, you quite literally took one for the team, buddy.
How long has it been?
Since what?
I take a pillow and I stuff it on an Adelaide shirt and I go this long.
but what?
It's a bad pregnancy
It's
show.
so good.
Fantastic. I hate it.
Henley, what are you? What?
Rick, I'm
It's-
giving you a point
it's
of
been a couple
inspiration.
of weeks.
That was real good.
Well, considering I've had to sit down in the hull, unable to do anything for a large amount of time, it's been a long time, Karakwa.
Do you remember when we were having trouble getting to the weird sea?
I take the spoon that I would use to feed Aruna and I throw it into the sea.
Thank you. You freed me.
Do you remember when we were
I
trying
hope
to
he
get to the weird
always
sea?
used one unwashed
I
spoon.
remember. I remember drawing the circle
Things didn't stick.
and then nothing. I could see and hear, but none of it made any sense. Just moving shapes and colors.
If it helps, you couldn't really move or speak much either.
What happened?
You got retarded.
Mm-hmm.
You took a pretty nasty shot from a spell from. I can't remember what she's actually
We-
called.
You
We-
listened to the song by Black Eyed Peas and took it too literally.
You know how we can sometimes direct or misdirect spells when they're thrown at us?
You
We
didn't do that.
we learned a valuable lesson that day. To always keep that shit on blast.
Well, to be fair, Ito, she was also flying in the air well out of reach of counterspell.
Yeah, I know, because I tried to do it too.
Oh, and I cut my arm off Karakwa, but it's fine.
That happened after.
Your arm?
His
Well-
her other arm.
After you went down, it looked like we're all gonna die. So I did some, not exactly, I would not say in the good alignment magic. Kind of used the arm as spell components.
I'm gonna like scramble up to her as fast as I can.
Okay.
Just like on the ground, like weird panic. I haven't actually moved in like 3 weeks, but I haven't been. And I'm just like instantly going up and where's my staff? Where's the staff? I need
Oh,
it
God.
now.
Where is his
Uh,
staff?
I go to
fuck.
pull his staff out of the bag. I pull out the spoon. I accidentally threw the staff into the sea.
Oh,
Max,
no.
why are you there?
I take the bag of holding from Max.
Yeah,
I,
that's
I,
probably-
I love
That is
the
not
image.
in your
Statement
possession.
I
should
love
be
the-
like emblazoned on something.
I love the image of Alakul taking the bag of holding with his primary arms and then smacking Max inside the head with his secondary arms.
No, I slap him in the nuts. Like, that's not yours.
I also kind of like the idea of, since I don't have arms, they just strap the staff to my back with some tape, and I've just been walking around with it.
You ever
What?
been
Wait,
sack
no.
tapped by a six-limbed
No, here's what we do.
individual?
We sovereign glue it to one of her stumps.
Fantastic, thank you.
Have fun getting that thing off.
So, Aruna, which one of those is your good arm now?
Neither. One, you see, one is made of wood, Ito. The other doesn't exist.
And the wood one's broken.
So is the
Yep.
is the wood one your good arm now?
Is that
Well,
is one of them a
you know,
stump and
it's
the other one's
It's at least trying.
you
I mean, it.
you grab the staff and you cast regenerate. Say, "Oh boy,
That's basically.
Aruna, I'm gonna help you." As
Okay.
Honestly, I had enough of this.
yeah, as he rushes forward, reaching
I don't
his...
know if I can get your other arm that's been destroyed from the magics before. But this
Ooh,
one,
that's
you said
true.
if you cut it off from your own volition, I should be able to regenerate it.
Wow.
Give me a
Uh-oh.
moment. It's-
One arm's better
I'm
than zero.
remembering. I'm trying to remember the words, the emotions,
I wanna.
and I very calmly start to hold the staff, and making a motion
You
over
do that.
the nub, like as if I'm pulling something out and trying to have it grow outwards. It says an arm should regenerate after a few minutes.
You
I would like to prepare a max level counterspell in the event that Aruna's best friend shows up
Right.
all of a sudden.
so
I have no idea about any of that. I'm just trying to cast regenerate and bring this.
no
Ito is spooked.
no weird magic surge go off. Okay.
Oh shit, we
you-
didn't even think about that.
Yeah, literally
Thank
no one
God.
said. Like, I still don't know where we're at. So
I said we made it to the weird city.
great.
I don't know if you know about that,
You-
about the weird city.
Reach out and begin running your hands over her arms, gently coaxing the magics to flow from you into her, trying to reconstruct the limbs that she lost. And you know what? It actually begins to work.
Holy shit!
I don't like the use of the word.
Oh,
begins
God.
The
to there.
arm that she lost as a child grows back,
Oh, shit.
slowly moving, sort of arching outwards. Lost, indeed, blown away by magic, but now fully restored as she's able to flex it. It has a faint
Ugh.
shimmery sheen, like it's covered in oil. As she's able to move it, but the other arm doesn't come back. Sacrificed to blood magic. It is gone.
Hell yeah.
Nothing
Okay.
nothing short of a wish spell will bring that bad boy back.
We ain't wasting that shit on you.
It
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
man,
fair.
good thing I got this ninth level spell slot right here. Hold on, let me just.
That arm, Aruna, that arm
Yep.
was sacrificed to magic. It was burned away from existence, essentially.
That adds up. Shit. That's unexpected, actually, as the original Gimp arm is back.
Now you've
don't
got a
understand.
prosthetic that's on the wrong hand.
I don't understand.
I just looked down at my prosthetic foot. I'm like, nah.
Okay.
Wait, shit, did we even think about that?
Well, I mean, we only just recently reached the level where I can cast this spell.
It's
so-
true, and then you got brain deaded.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I can cast all kinds of stuff now. Look at me.
Yeah, you've definitely had some practice since I'm gone. I like the new stick.
Karok was like, alright. Come on.
Unexpected.
Let's get this over with.
Kroko, can I have my foot?
Aru,
Can you imagine?
you'll have to give me a moment.
if people were just chopping
I'm
off
trained.
legs to blood magic to amplify
too,
their
me
spells
too.
and then regrowing them and casting it over and over again?
It'd be fucked.
Doesn't work that way. You sacrifice it to that, it's gone, short of divine intervention, essentially, or a
Yeah,
wish.
like, imagine this sweatshop where people fucking like have people chained up, like casting regenerate on them, just ripping limbs off.
Like in the boys.
Cody's trying so hard over here, and we're just going way off.
I know,
Damn,
right?
you're not giving me a lot to work with now.
I'll give Cody a tap.
The game is only as serious as you make it, so shut up, Tommy.
Anyway, I'll give him a tap with the arm that's regened on the head. Maybe next time.
What happened? What happened to your arm to make it not grow, but the one that was destroyed by magic to come back? What happened?
Do you get any Baba Yaga vibes?
I
Any
mean,
darkness on the horizon?
Do I feel anything like a
Black
reason's eye, or
eyes.
is it just like or is it just the magic does not flow through it?
It's almost as if that arm wasn't just lost, it was written out of existence.
I can't even comprehend that. That's beyond me.
Any like
basically,
black
it's-
eyes, chicken huts,
well, basically,
shadows, the horizon?
it's like I was never born with it, as opposed to lost it.
Neat.
There's no weird reversing. If you managed to reverse Aruna back in time 10 years, the arm would still be gone.
Jesus.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't like that Colin just threw that out there like we were planning on time travel.
Thank you.
If she died and she
Why
was
not?
reincarnated, she would be missing that arm.
but yeah.
Colin with like a nose or something.
What level spell slot was that, Cody?
That is a 7th level spell slot.
Jesus. Alright, next time,
That's
Karaka.
that's my only one I have of the day. So looking at Venta, you'll have to give me a moment to rest.
Yeah, take your time.
Rockwood just passes the fuck out.
You're gonna say, first thing upon getting your head back together, probably casting 7th level spell, not recommended. As much as it is appreciated.
It's just so overwhelming here. What is that noise? What is that constant sound? Is that the ocean?
Oh, that's the sound of Alakul rubbing his legs together.
Oh yes.
Since when has he been able to do that?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, man, we
I
should
start like
introduce...
handing Karaka food. Like you need your energy back.
Karakwa, you don't.
Been a while, Gus. Does Karakwa know Gus?
Yeah.
You were
Yeah.
Karaka at the start of the campaign, right?
Like you might not recognize him because I'm sure he looks different.
No, I'm just asking because I personally can't remember. Was Gus your original start of the
Yeah,
game? character?
original
Archer,
start of the
yeah.
game, yeah.
The
That's right.
Polynesian archer.
Yeah, it was Gus
Yeah.
and Klaus.
Gus,
Yeah.
what the hell are you doing here?
Hey, long time no see.
It's been a couple weeks.
So
Gus is like, I live here.
yeah,
This is
like
my home.
you're
You're in
at
my
place,
house.
bud. You're at my place, bud. Welcome to the Weird Sea. Welcome to Tidewater Hollow.
I guess I just look around and taking it in and taking in the sights. Vision slowly starting to comprehend the scenery, the people, being able to understand words. It's a lot right now.
Rockwood turns his head, looks
Yeah,
at the
words
ocean,
are hard.
sees the incredibly normal sea, and goes, "Huh."
It's gonna be weirder.
Poor.
Yeah, well, you weren't the
poor-
one that was out there. At least
He
not while
was,
you
he
had
was
it.
out there. He was just not conscious about it.
What happened? What did you do to bring me back?
I believe she cast a greater restoration, a special greater restoration, from what I can tell. So you know,
Gus's mom is a
Yeah,
better
let me
mage than Aruna.
see my family here. This
You
here
do
is
realize...
Arona, and I'll like point out the priestess who just cured him. This is High Priestess Arona, my mother, and is the chief here.
Yes, Cal, your whole family is
Yeah.
there. Almost your
This
whole
is-
family.
Yeah, just the two important ones.
That one cousin who owes you money is not there.
Of course not.
Two of the three important ones.
So I'll introduce him to High Chief Kari, my father, and we're gonna be doing a little kraken hunting.
This is a lot
Maybe-
to take in.
Maybe not.
What is your
start off-
mother's name? Arona?
Arona.
Arona.
Yes, it seems
Croc was like Fucking humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
With fucking
Humanoid.
rhyming names.
Stealing elf names.
Dawskins.
Oh,
Soft skins, that's good.
maybe.
That's really good.
That's really good.
That's a
Oh, Rona,
top shelf
I
slur
am-
right there.
I am forever in your debt for healing me. Anything that you ask, I will do for you.
Oh, good, because we're fighting a kraken and you're helping. Not to
No one-
volunteer you or anything.
That's
Also,
all
like,
well and good, but I don't know what a kraken is.
so just
You're
a
gonna
little
find
bed,
out.
There's a
little bedside manner. Does nobody realize that you probably shouldn't overwhelm somebody who just like
Nope.
came
there's
back?
an like an excited
Nope,
hand
that
that
fireball idiot.
there's an excited hand that shoots up from out in the crowd. I'll tell him what a kraken is.
Cracking these nuts over his chin.
As Hahona rushes forward.
shit in his back pocket.
Hahona rushes forward and says, "You're a lizard. Do you sun on a rock, or like is that something that you don't do?
Not now, please.
Do you know how to swim?"
He's had a long day.
Boy,
Might want to give him some time
Just-
before you.
Started remembering who he is.
I just
so
realized,
you give
Colin,
him
that you
some
just
time.
you just gave Beaver the thing he hates the most: younger siblings.
He gave himself the younger siblings. He
Yep.
made the fucking
You
family.
fool!
Fool!
He even made sure she was cheerful.
Look, I'm sure Karak was
That's a
happy to
word
have
for
his
it.
mind back, but he probably still needs to rest a little.
yeah.
I've got lots of questions for you, but I'll let you wait until the morning.
Thank you.
Well, I guess since I'm. Does Karaka want to be alone? Because I can arrange that.
What are you gonna kill me?
No,
No,
gonna kill everyone else.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank God. Kill
I
you
thought I got-
first.
I'd say I got my arm back. I can arrange you being alone for a while.
2 arms and time for revenge.
No, there's
And a 5th grade education.
enough time has been wasted at the moment.
Well,
Enough time has been wasted at the moment. The enemy goes stronger by the day.
I mean,
I'm
we're
still,
waiting.
That's a good
I'm
lie.
still reeling from whatever it is she has done to me, but
So we have to wait
I've
a
been
day.
useless too long. We must keep going.
So well,
Get
we
me
have
up
to
to
wait a
speed on
day anyway.
everything. Get me up to speed on everything.
Everything.
I'll be honest, we don't know much.
Oh God, Gershwin.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Gershwin and all the other druids.
Super dead.
Well, I mean, I
Wow,
think
that's a way to put it to the guy who just came back to consciousness.
Burning out, like to the
Pet-
nearest tree I see,
petrified?
and I'm not tree striding, but transport via plants back to that swamp right now.
Oh god.
Okay.
It's like, oh, damn it.
All right.
Do we see that
That's
as
the
like?
6th level spell, so I should be able to cast that.
Do we see that
Yes.
as like a determined I'm going to go see my friend, or like he is hysterical in mourning?
Yeah,
do you see
yeah.
that,
Well,
Cody?
I don't know.
Cody.
Cody.
What is it?
More like a panic.
I'm
kinda
at.
thing, just
If
like-
it's a panic, I'm casting Hold Person on Karakwa.
No, just please. I have to see for myself.
Do you want me to cast it and you can save, Cody?
Huh?
I'm
That's
casting
up to
Hold
you.
Person on you.
That's up
Yeah,
to
no.
you.
If you're saying you're in a panic, I'm casting Hold Person.
That is up to you. Karakwa is telling you I have to see for myself.
What? He's doing 6. Okay. Do I know how strong tree like that spell is?
Transport via plants.
I mean, vaguely.
Okay.
Oh wait, I'm dumb. I'll just cast Counterspell.
I was gonna say I will also cast counterspell
Cool.
because.
Well,
Wait, no.
you still have to roll to counterspell because it's higher than 3rd level.
No. What I'm
I
concerned
don't
about the
have
wild
a 3rd
magic.
level. I'm gonna
You could
cast
say something about
Counterspell
that before I go.
at a 5th level.
Or
Well, if
What?
you're doing it like
You'd-
immediately,
you'd still
it's
have
not
to
like I
roll
can
it because
stop
it's
you.
it's higher
Towards
than
the
5th
nearest
level,
tree I
6th
said,
level.
and
What?
I'm ready towards the nearest tree I said.
As
have to be
I'm
touching the tree.
counterspelling, I'm sure Aruna is also counterspelling. We will both say in unison, "No, don't."
Is that 3 magic surges?
Yeah, but counter.
Yep.
So the counter spell is gonna go off.
Yeah, counterspell
Yeah.
goes off before Cody's.
I haven't cast it yet. I said I'm running towards a tree.
We prep counterspell and we say no, wait, don't. There.
I cast counterspell.
Why?
I hit him in the leg with my weapon.
Why?
Everybody just
Why?
cast counterspell.
Everyone just cast it for no reason.
It would be
Why?
cool for everyone to have piped up saying they had counterspell previously.
We did. She was out of range.
All
I
right.
don't
I
have
wanna
counterspell.
say,
I
like,
I mean,
was
like,
his legs out.
Everyone else, Connor.
From
Okay.
what I
Okay.
understand, Karakwa,
Thank you.
is
I was
the
gonna do
entire
it.
area is overrun with the undead. If we were to open up a door,
Well, before
we'd just be bringing them here.
before anything, you said you cast counterspell at 5th level.
If
You still.
No spell has been cast yet.
Okay.
Cody says he hasn't cast his yet.
Karakwa, if you cast a spell, the chance of you exploding or hurting yourself and it not working and then you not being able to come back here is very high. Please stop.
I pull out the dragon's
That's
eye
He kind of
starscope, and
comes to a stop from the round. Why is that?
it's where we are. I'll pull out the dragon eye starscope and I'll say it's kind of like this thing. It's not exactly like this thing, but it's kind of like this thing.
Do you remember
Magic
when
is
we
weird here.
Do you remember when we tried to go here originally, or go in this region, and we tried to go here via teleport, and we went to the
Ocean?
Eldoroyhan. It is the same exact thing that is going to happen potentially to you, if not worse.
We're stuck here until we can get out. More or
But my
less.
regeneration, her healing.
It doesn't happen every time. That's the annoying part.
We got a little lucky.
Actually, Colin, that is a good point. I
I-
did use 2 healing spells earlier.
I roll. It's. You were using.
They were at 3rd level.
You have to for that. You have to roll basically a higher, like a 4 or higher to just not have us throw. So the odds are not super likely.
Yeah, I
So
can
you
roll
did-
that if you like.
No, I already rolled it.
Okay.
In other words, I understand the urgency, but it's not something we can do safely.
I've already informed my people to build a monument for their sacrifice. And we get out of this hellhole, we will find a way that you can pay your respects since you weren't able to at that time. You can't do it now.
As soon as we get out of this area of the magic, I will go with you happily to
Sure.
see.
Likewise.
But
Can't
right
do it
now,
now.
you'll probably just end up dying alone.
Hit me. It's just,
It's quite alright.
everything just come back so quickly. It's
The thing with Gershwin is something you've seen before too. You saw Dillamond do it.
yeah. but
They
still.
like get petrified, right?
Yes, they become
they've
part
been-
of the wood. They become part of the tree.
But in the circle, right? In the druid circle.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They're basically now
Just-
dryads that can't turn back.
Just
In a
No,
way,
I'm
in
pretty
a-
sure they're also dead.
Well, they're not. They're in a way they're not dead. They are part of the living tree.
They return to nature. It's kind of
They are a
by
part
their own
of
volition.
nature by their own volition.
It's
But Karakwa saw Dillamond do it in the Whispering Grove when she caused basically the entire region to be covered in entangling growth to slow down the army.
In other words, they made their choice, and while it's not a pleasant one, going back there and getting yourself hurt or killed isn't going to help.
Also, if you'll remember correctly,
You're
we
right.
lied to Bismarck's face right before we left there.
you were correct.
Not sure if he would take too kindly to us coming back.
I mean, it's been a lot of weeks since that happened.
We were probably seconds away from being incinerated before we left.
Literally,
so-
the fire was passing over you as you teleported away.
But if it makes you feel any better, what I did also got the people that were straggling out also. So there is a single person that was alive there that isn't away.
Good. That's good. You know, I think I will actually take back what I said about getting up to speed. Everything is tiring. And he's just gonna pass out. On the
Yep,
stage.
walking up and grabbing him. I'll like hook him under the arms. I'll be like, "Go to sleep, buddy," and I will.
I'll lead.
Gus,
I'll lead
where's a
those two-
bed?
Yeah, I'm gonna lead them to like a bed.
Or maybe a rock. I don't know. Apparently, that's a thing.
I mean, I imagine we're close to the actual village.
Yeah, you're right
There's,
down
there's
in
gotta
the
be
surf.
somewhere I can lay him down.
You can take. It's not too hard to take him back up to your home in the tree line. You don't have to even do it yourself. Your brother, the one that's built like a brick shit house.
Brick shit house?
Yeah. Mahaka is the swole as fuck one. Just is able to like hoist him as if he's just a rag doll over his shoulder.
Hey, Colin.
Yep.
Could I have gotten on the ship as like part of our reward for helping Burnesh? Like some ivory marble and like a silver spoon from him for spell components.
Sure, why not?
No, I was asking. I will forgo any monetary reward for spell components. That's what I'm
You technically
saying.
weren't getting any reward because you weren't there last week, but we'll say yes.
Oh, I was gonna say, or I can trade for it. I have money if
No,
anybody.
he'll give you the spoons as the equivalent of a reward.
Did Burnesh leave, or
He's-
did he just park?
He parked.
Okay.
The ship is still off the shore,
Cool.
and
There's actually-
they're doing repairs and things like
Sure.
that.
Is he on the boat himself?
Burnesh.
Or is he on shore? Yeah.
Burnesh. At the end of the day, Burnesh did go to the boat to oversee repairs.
Gus about to have
Okay.
Burnesh meet the rents.
Well, basically, what I was gonna say is I haven't been able to cast it, much like Cody hasn't been able to cast. But I have Magnificent Mansion, and since
Ooh.
Cody burned a 7th level spell on me, I'd like to accommodate Karakwa in as nice a place as I can, and that is a magical little pocket dimension.
What do you say? My house isn't good enough?
Eh.
It's got fucking
No,
dirt.
somewhere familiar needs to be needs to
I-
be the thing here.
I was gonna ask, do we know what triggers the wild magic surge? Is it based on level?
Yeah, that's what I was.
It's casting a spell, and the DC changes based on what level spell you cast.
Do we know if it increases or
It
decreases?
increases the higher level spell you cast.
Oh boy. Maybe I won't do that, but that will be handy in the future.
If
Well,
you
I was
cast a
thinking of-
7th level spell, the DC is 8.
Jesus. Okay.
Eight.
You have to roll an 8 on a D20.
Or... Okay. 8 or higher.
8 or higher.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very likely.
Eh.
Oh, I got
That's
really
not-
lucky then.
That's likely enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Colin,
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna make some quick dinner real fast. But I figured that was like a incorrect.
Yeah. It can go to the next day, like I said.
Okay.
It happened at like 8 o'clock at night or so. Fairly dark outside. People are tired. Like the villagers, the excitement of these visitors has worn them out as they sort of ran around all day asking questions, and they even helped gather like timbers from the forest to send it out to the boat, so everything there could be repairs and sort of the mast could be repaired and things like that. So everybody's a little bit tired and they retire early. Ito, you retire with a rumbling stomach. Adelaide does the same, but she does. She's not a complete fool as she follows the fasting rule.
Yeah, I would have like laid into her all of the things that they told us, so she's not like being sly on the side or anything like that.
Oh, she's sly on the side, but not about the food, obviously.
Good.
But she doesn't eat. All she has is water and honey.
Do we do like exhaustion
I roll a Constitution check.
check or save?
Check.
Roll one as well.
7.
All right. Oh boy.
Hang on.
You are well.
For a check, you said, right?
Just a check.
Okay. Yeah, my
18
con
on
my
mine.
con is not good. My save is okay.
I got
Her
an 18 power.
Constitution check is like a 17, so she's fine. Gus is fine. Ito, you can't sleep. You're hungry.
Awesome.
As you toss and you turn, and you are unable to get a long rest.
Okay.
You're only able to take a short rest.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So if we're taking a rest, do we need to do a Constitution check or?
No,
They-
this is
you're
if
not
you're
taking
fasting. If you're fasting so that you can get high and see your ancestors.
No.
So Adelaide passes, Gus passes. Ito, you only get a short rest because you just can't sleep for more than an hour or two at a time.
Oh my god.
Advance it to Sunday.
Oh my god.
Man, Ito's
Short
having a
rest.
rough fucking night.
Alright.
Every time he rolls a hit dice, I hear his stomach grumble.
There we go. Alright, full heal.
Sunday, the 8th of October, you wake up with the sun, bright and early. Your stomach wrenches, Ito, as you can
5.
smell cooking in the air. The smell of roasted meats rising up, wafting into your nose. You have to sort of turn over and just ignore it. Not much longer, you know. You started at 11, or the fast started at roughly 11. You've only got a couple hours to wait as people go about their business. You can see Arona is tired. It looks like, or she has pretty heavy bags underneath her eyes. Having exerted herself not only casting the spell, but it seems that she did not sleep as she was busy gathering the materials for the Kalam, making sure that they were harvested. It is... Gus, you know that the only people allowed to basically touch these ingredients are priestesses. Whether a high priestess or a lower priestess. Chances are your mother did not have to personally do this. You know that is Beaver even here?
I'm here. I'm
Okay,
listening.
I was just making sure that I wasn't just talking into the air.
Yeah.
You know that there is another member of your family, your twin sister. She has not been present yet. Not that you've seen. She, much like her mother, has begun walking the path of the next or another powerful priestess, as quite a few of the women in your family do. She is in charge of... She's still real low on the totem pole, though, and so she lives in the heart of the island. She tends gardens and herbs, like herb gardens and things that have sacred herbs, so chances are she is there. The Kalam that you're taking was probably grown by her. You've only seen her briefly. Part of the training is that they are isolated from the rest of the people, essentially. It's not fun, but it is what it is.
It's important.
Tommy's looking at porn. I see it. I saw black boobies. I see a car now.
He scrolled down.
I'm
The
disappointed.
cad.
I'm disappointed it's not black booby. Did you actually look up black boobies though?
The fuck is that?
I think it's a man.
It's someone I'm friends with going, oh, thanks for being my best friend boyfriend, and showing a picture of him cuddling with their ugly hairless cat.
All right.
You.
It goes, and the time passes. Just gonna go ahead and move forward to the Kalam, the crazy Kalam dreams, baby.
Yes.
As it
You ever
Sun-
poofed ayahuasca before?
The sun rises high into the sky.
You know, like there's black cocaine. I imagine this is like black peyote.
The Kalam ceremony is a lot more private than the restoration one cast on Karakwa. Perhaps for the best. You do see there are quite a few people that are gathered around as you step out of your, clothing, bearing yourself completely, and sort of stepping into the surf to make sure you're cleansed bodily and spiritually. Adelaide is there. She's unsurprisingly extremely comfortable just being completely naked in front of everyone. She's lean, well muscled. She's got, her strength score is higher than Ito's, I believe, so.
Yes, Ito's dex.
She could arm wrestle Ito pretty easily. Ito is flabby. His butt cheeks sag. There's a used.
I bet Ito's got that Hank Hill ass.
There's a used condom still in his asshole as he steps into the ocean.
Thank God I regrew my arm so I can block my vision.
But
no,
you have to watch.
No.
Yeah, Aruna's not used to having that arm, so she just goes, "Oh no!"
I was gonna say I was right-handed because my left arm was always gimpy, so now I have to relearn how to write and stuff on my left hand.
Damn it!
Fucking sucks,
As
man.
the two of you step into the surf, cleansing yourself bodily as well as spiritually after the fast, as you take a step from the water, the sun is bright and warm. You don't feel very chill at all despite the fact that you've dipped yourself into the ocean. Now bare and glistening, there is the priestess Arona and the high chieftain stepping forward, each of them with a sort of small, shallow like ceramic cup, like a crockware cup, and you can see it looks like they've taken a fresh kind of green, almost aloe-like plant, and using like a pestle, they've muddled it kind of and crushed it in the bottom of it. And as they hold them, Gus, you can see now, finally seeing her for the first time, taking over another minor priestess's duty, your twin sister, taking part in this solemn ceremony. Your twin sister, the Taka looks like Gus, but with boobs.
That's unsettling.
Is that the only distinction?
There's more than that, but
Yeah.
she,
I mean, it's like the way all Grissoms look alike, Connor.
She pours hot water into the muddled kalam, and they present them to you. They wish you good luck. Beware the Watcher. And take a step back.
Thank you, Kiri. I'm gonna drink my Kalam.
Alright.
Is this an all-at-once thing, or a
Adelaide
thing?
tips hers back and drinks it.
Do I have my necklace on?
Actually, whenever he was looking at it, you're able to put it on now, but he, Cowrie insisted that you take it off before you get in the water.
Wait, I'm sorry.
The
So do I
the
have it
High
on or
Chieftain-
not?
You can put it on afterwards, but whenever you got in the water, you did not.
If he's suggesting it, then I will actually hand it to him and walk in without it.
Okay. But once you're out the water, he's willing to give it back to you, but he insisted you don't go into the water with it, or specifically that it does not touch the water.
Cool. I will also drink the drink.
All right. I'm going to go pee.
Oh shit.
But then, get the pee out, because afterwards, Connor, it's gonna be a big dump of Ito exposition.
Oh boy.
Fantastic.
You feel the kalam go down. It stings slightly, as if you're drinking a tea that has been infused with some sort of faint barb, almost like a nettle.
Ugh.
It's almost shocking for a moment, as you can feel yourself get tired, and for a moment you worry that maybe it was some sort of poison, but that's not the case. Poison shouldn't have really any effect on you at this level of paladinhood. It's something else, but it's not particularly pleasant, and it's certainly not how you remember taking the super weak kalam so long ago. As you sort of look up the pristine blue sky, your eyes blink once, and it's a beautiful sort of cloudless sky, and blink again, once again the cloudless sky, and then the next time you blink, your eyes open, and you're no longer outside. You stand in a place that's familiar, yet different. It takes a moment for you to realize you're standing within a room on the estate. A place that you've been many times before. Currently it is within your time it is a guest's quarters. But you know that at one point this was actually some of the main living quarters before the house was added on to and expanded. But that happened a long time ago. You find
Is this the old ruin or the
no, this
house?
is the actual estate. The estate has been built on over the years.
Sure.
The current room you're in is currently on the Guild of Royhan, a guest estate, but it used to be like the family's room. It wasn't the master suite, but like a lot of times the children would be kept in these rooms. And you find yourself looking into a beautiful silvery looking glass mirror that reflects an image that for a second you swear is you. You think you're looking at yourself for just a moment. But it's, like all the things here, familiar yet different. For one thing, you're a lot younger. Decades younger. Your hair no longer streaked with silver, your eyes not quite so sunken in, crow's feet having not overtaken your brows and your forehead. You are looking at someone else. He doesn't quite have the same facial structure. His face is a little bit rounder. His eyes aren't the same color. His complexion is a bit darker. His hair's not quite the same, but he's distinctly familiar to you. As you look in the window, or look in the mirror, you can see behind you the reflection from a window, as you can see out on the Ile de Royhan, the crashing waves of the surf distant, docks peeling out into the beautiful blue surf. And for a moment, just briefly, looking out on the beach, you can see what appears to be a shadow, a humanoid, made of shadows, standing on the beach, just staring up at the window. The Watcher. The thing that it warned you about. It doesn't move closer. It's distant at this point, but it is distinctly there on the beach watching you.
Can I, other than a shadowy figure, can I get any idea what it looks like?
It's just a humanoid, it's a humanoid-shaped shadow.
Okay. I will avert my eyes and continue.
Alright. You don't really have a lot of control over what's happening here. The body seems... You seem to be along for the ride, essentially. This is a memory.
It's like Harry Potter when he's in the mind stuff. Yeah.
Not even that. You're not even on the outside. You are in looking through the eyes, but you don't have any control.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. Got it.
It turns and it makes its way down towards the beach, and you slowly realize that it becomes more familiar, as this is sort of something you've seen vaguely, very briefly before. As you walk along the beach, you see what appears to be a woman covered in seaweed, soaking from the surf, collapsed on the ground, her breathing shallow. Her hair is almost sort of a strange shade of brown that has hints and flashes of green in it, glittering in the sunlight. You sort of stop dead in your tracks and are struck by how beautiful she is, and at the same time how vulnerable she is. Her clothes are ripped and torn. She has what appears to be a extremely large bite, as if a shark bit basically the bottom half of her leg. It's bleeding profusely as you sort of rush to her, sort of collapsing on the ground next to her. And then there's a pause, as if the world sort of grows dark once again, and you find yourself blinking down at this woman as it's blink, blink, and then as you blink one more time, it opens on a new scene. The woman is now clothed. She rests comfortably in a bed within the Ile de Royhan itself. Fresh linens wrapped around her. You wrap a bandage around the wound on her leg, which you're shocked to see is healing at an incredibly rapid pace. Whenever you're close to her, you've noticed that there's a smell in the air. It almost is acrid.
When I'm close to her?
Yes.
Okay.
Sulfur-like.
Hmm.
It's not wildly strong. It's a little bit unpleasant, but not overwhelmingly so. It has sort of pushed a few of the nurses away, but that's okay, because you are willing to tend her wounds. Her eyes...
Terribly sorry. Terribly sorry. My dogs are going crazy. Be right back.
Yay!
I could smell nurses.
And then, as you're sort of tending her wounds, your eyes turn and you can see her eyes flutter open. And she looks at you, and you look at her. And you blink, and she blinks. You blink. And then, as you blink, the scene changes. Every time you blink, it's like you open your eyes on a new scene. This time, it's a beautiful night on the Ile de Royhan. The winds are gentle. The smell of the sea wafts up to your nose as you sit now on the actual beautiful sandy beaches. It's dark. A new moon hangs barely discernible in the sky, casting the island in pristine darkness. The skies are alight with stars as if they burn with fire. and you sit there next to this woman. There are no words that are said. Her wounds have long since healed. You can barely make out the scar on her leg.
Can I tell how long it's been?
It's gotta have been at least a few weeks. No longer is her hair lank and sodden with these sort of streaks of green in it. She actually has blooms in her hair. As if someone had put flowers in her hair, but these bloom themselves. Beautiful sort of green flowers right at her temples, and no longer does she have this acrid smell. With the flowers opening and blooming, with a smile, she looks at you and you smell cinnamon in the air. It seems to permeate your nose, a heady, intoxicating smell that surrounds her as she smiles at you. The smell of happiness. As you realize this smell, much like the acrid smell was when she was hurt and upset, now that she's happy and content, the flowers, the sort of green flowers blooming on her hair, it smells like cinnamon. And the two of you look up to the stars, and you reach her hand out. She takes it, and hand in hand, you just stare up at a beautiful, pristine blanket. And then the flutter in your stomach as she scoots over and just rests her head on your shoulder. And your eyes blink. Her eyes blink. It's a familiar feeling, but it's different. And then it moves to a new scene. There is a man. He looks like you, Ito. Stunningly like you. And yet different. He is older than you. His face sunken in, his hair nearly entirely gray. As he stands angrily at a desk and says, "You're gonna have to grow up eventually, Cortez. You can't fucking wait around the island forever. The most important thing is to sire an heir and prepare to lead this family. I'm not gonna be alive forever, son." Cortez. A name.
I'm sorry. Are my eyes in the old man?
No, you are looking at the old man.
Okay.
This is all coming from the same point of view. But the name, Cortez, is one that you vaguely recognize. Cortez de la Isla de Rohan. He is something of a derisive figure within your family. It was under his particular leadership that the island started to falter and go into debt. It was, it was said that he always was a bit of a curmudgeon, not wildly friendly. They even say that the last thing he ever did was to complain about the food he was eating, about the level of spice in it. He's not viewed fondly on the Ile de Rohan, but it was his direct descendants that actually started worshipping the Green Lady. As you are looking at the old man yell, you see over his shoulder, his shadow almost seems to extend up the wall, and for a moment you think it's just his shadow, but the angle is wrong. It's the humanoid, the Watcher, closer now, He doesn't move at all. He himself doesn't advance on you, but you get the feeling he's just getting closer and closer, and there's still some distance yet. But it is a bit worrying. And your eyes blink. They blink again. And you reopen your eyes. You can feel an excitement, a heady mirth, almost like being drunk or intoxicated as you rush through a darkened forest. You lift your nose to the air and you take a deep scent, deep smell, and you can smell it. Cinnamon. As you see, turning through the trees, bathed in moonlight, completely bare, the woman. Green blooms in her hair as she goes to you, and you go to her, and your arms wrap around each other, and you look into each other's eyes, and you blink, and then the scene changes. Slightly. No longer is she bare beneath the moonlight, but you are at roughly the same position. Standing hand in hand, looking at each other's eyes. She's now clad in a pristine green robe. The smell of cinnamon heady in your nose as you stand before a priest, cleric, hand in hand as he wraps a familiar length of linen, of a strip of cloth, one you've seen, beautiful sort of amethyst studding it like grapes as it this sort of vine entwines itself around you as you join her hand in yours, and you repeat familiar words. So I am yours. A wedding ceremony. As you look around and see that you stand just beneath the base of the great mountain, deep hidden within the woods, a place you realize is actually the first church to the Green Lady, the one that was ruins in your time. Now it's little more than a forest clearing. And you blink. She blinks, and you blink again. Scene changes. You realize that you've had 10 years of starlight and cinnamon. But your father grows old. You have no heir. It's not that you haven't tried. You spend nights with her, crying, wishing that she could give you what you want, wishing that she could give you the child that you desire, that your father insists upon, to maintain the lineage of the Ildroy Han. But she can't. She's had miscarriages. She's tried everything. And you've learned that she fears she can't give you that heir. She is unable to be fruitful. She had never quite... She'd always been a little bit guarded in her past as she looks up to you. But finally, she tells you everything. With tears in her eyes, she tells you of a war long ago in the heart of the Feywild, of her failure to rally her people, her desperate escape from execution, the curse that was put on her to never be fruitful, so that her and her descendants, those that follow her, will never proliferate, will never be successful, put on her by new Queen of the Spring Court, Baba Yaga. And through these tears, she almost pleads with you not to get rid of her, to leave her. And you can smell the air at this point smells once again like sulfur. It's a heady, disgusting twinge that wrinkles your nose, upsetting. And you blink, she blinks, you blink, and the scene changes once again. The air once again stinks, but it's not of sulfur, it's of disease and death. You sit at the old man's bedside. He breathes a ragged breath. It is agonal breathing. The last gasps of a dying man as your father, the current lord of the Ilderoy Han, has no more than maybe an hour or two left in this world. And with his final dying words, he clutches your hand and he says, "The name must live on. The family must live on." You have to make an heir. That's the only way to maintain the Ilderoy Han for the family. All the work that they've put in. And unfortunately, that cannot be done with your current circumstances. There were a myriad of arrangements that your father had made to wed you to other noble families, to give you a bride that would increase your standing, and yet you always resisted. He could be pushy, but he never pushed you too hard. And you shake your head because you realize, or at least in the mind of this person, you realize he never told his father that he had already been married, that he had already pledged himself to another. But those final words, that duty to the family, the island, it rings in your head as he breathes one final time. You can see him through tears rimming your eyes. He was a stern man, but he was a good father. And as you look up, you can see the Watcher. He steps, this time it actually moves, stepping away from the shadow of your father, and standing there. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, I do have a few questions about things that I've seen. Should I wait until we're done?
Probably, because a lot of the stuff that you're seeing is just stuff that happened.
No, sure. I just want to make sure that Connor's stupid brain is interpreting it correct.
But the you also have Ito's knowledge, but you're feeling things as well. You're seeing memories in of his as well.
You says that a wisdom saving throw?
Yep.
Am I Ito for this saving
You
throw?
do get Ito's bonuses.
I got a 12. Oh no.
That's not too bad. It's not that bad. It does grow closer, but as it's sort of stepping to you, you blink, and blink, and you blink again, and once again, you find yourself in a familiar scene. On the shores of the Ild Royhan, the sun, the sand, the surf, familiar to you, and yet different. Standing on a dock you stood on 100 times before, but no longer old and decrepit, pristine and new. You look out to see a woman, clad in a sheer green robe, sunlight silhouetting every curve of her through the gossamer fabric. She stands on a boat, sailing away on a boat that seems to be made of the sea itself, looking back at you when your eyes met. On her face, a pained expression, a look, bitterness, longing, heartbreak. As you blink, she blinks. And you blink again. That sorrow burned into your very essence as the scene changes. It feels wrong.
I'm sorry, that was her leaving?
Yes, this is actually a vision you've seen before.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the one I recognized.
There's a feeling of wrongness.
Do I recognize the boat?
It's made of the sea itself. It's actually made of literally the
fuck.
ocean.
That's sick. Okay.
There's a feeling of wrongness. You're older now. Few years. You stand in a small but beautiful chapel, standing in front of an altar that used to be an altar of boughs, greenery. In the same spot you wed someone once before, your hands now joined to another. She's beautiful to be sure, much younger than you, from a noble family. She'll provide you the heirs you need, and yet you stand in the very same place you married her. And it just doesn't feel right. But it is what it is. Your father's words echo in your ears. Duty, family, the Ild Royhan. As you gird yourself, do what you know you have to do. The love, it's not that it's not there at all, but it's a candle burning faintly against the fire of 1,000 suns compared to what you felt for her. And yet, duty calls you. And you look down at your hand as you see the same binding that was used in the previous ceremony, the one with amethysts on it, are used to bind your hands, and a feeling of almost sickness rolls over you.
Like immediately?
Immediately. This was her, and yours feels sullied somehow. And you realize that it can't happen again. And you blink. He blinks. You blink again, and your eyes open on another scene. This time, sheened in sweat, a beautiful box, like a funerary coffer laid out before you, contained within it the garland, or the bindings that you had, the crown that she wore. Precious artifacts of a life lost, no longer to be sullied by your mistakes or future, as you bury it just outside the chapel itself, making sure that it's not used again. A relic of your love, lost to time, to be rediscovered hundreds of years later. As you look into the black hole that it now sits in, the hole itself seems to morph and mold itself, taking a humanoid form as a pair of hands sort of reach up after you as the Watcher tries to grab you even closer now. Give me another wisdom saving throw.
Alright, I'm gonna make my roll, and then I'm gonna get my dog in order. 1 second.
Okay.
28.
That's good. You're able to recoil from the tendrils, the great, tenebrous, shadowy tendrils that rise up from the hole, trying to wrap themselves around you, pull your very essence into itself and consume it. You blink, and then blink again as the tendrils are reaching up for you, and your eyes open. You find yourself looking up at a slightly darkened ceiling. Sunlight streams in from the windows. From nearby, from nearby, you can hear the sound of the ocean crashing in the distance. You feel tired, sickly. You look over at your wife, sits by your bedside. He's old. Must have been, God, 30, 40 years. Etched on her face. Children, many of them in adulthood, or all of them in adulthood, stand around the room, and yet it almost seems like they're not there. You look out.
How many children?
6 children. But they might as well as if they are not there. Your mind wanders. You've had joys and sorrows. Your wife has been dutiful, as you were. And yet, there was not a lot of love there. And it indeed came out as him being a bit curmudgeonly. He could argue, drink. The finances have been failing. People aren't buying the wine like they used to. His mind, or your mind, wanders about the past. Think of the woman, clad in green, flowers in her hair. As you look past your family, thinking about her, filled with thoughts, regrets, your breathing becomes shallow, and your vision blurs. And in that blurring vision, staring out through the window, looking across the beauty of the Ile de Royhan, hearing the sights or hearing the sounds of the crashing ocean, you see what appears to be a silhouette, just faintly. But it's not shadowy, it's green.
Is it female in shape?
You can't tell, as your eyes are. But as you take in one final deep breath, breathe it out, your final words, cinnamon. Did you catch that?
The final word of cinnamon?
Yep.
Yep. I typed in cinnamon and starlight because that was the best part of this whole bit. That was a really good line. Cinnamon and starlight is the fucking...
10 years of cinnamon and starlight.
It's really good. Real good. Okay, 10 years of cinnamon and starlight. That's a fucking... What's his name? The Notebook. Who did The Notebook?
I have no clue.
Nick something?
Something.
Can't remember his name.
Stephen Yin. But
no.
The final
good.
word, and the final word that your family thought was complaining about the cooking, the amount of spice is cinnamon, and it's not that. It seems, despite everything, right at the end, she was there. Probably the family didn't see it, but she was there somehow. And as your eyes blink and close one last time, they open. Now, fully immersed in bright sunlight as you find yourself once again in Tidewater Hollow. The memories still there. The memory of Cortez de la Isla de Rohan.
I have questions.
Yes.
Alright, so Cortez was the guy whose eyes I was looking through,
Yes.
correct? Okay. Couldn't get an air. Could I tell if the green lady was just barren?
She
or
told you she was barren. She could
barren.
not be fruitful.
Did she
That
say
was
as a result
yes,
of the curse?
as a result
Okay.
of a curse.
I noticed the Watcher seems to show up specifically in times of turmoil. And I wrote that down.
It's times of vulnerability.
Okay. She left on a boat made of the sea of itself. That was a really cool image. The other woman, do I get her name? Is the second wife.
You can look. While you didn't get her name from it, you know that Cortez only has one marriage. That was on record because he never told about the fact that he was married to Green Lady. But her name was Mariana.
Okay. Not the same kind of love. He was dutiful, had 6 kids, used the same wedding binding, and felt immediate sickness and lethargy, I think you said.
Yeah, he felt bad. He felt wrong.
Okay.
That's why he buried it. He made sure it would not be done again.
Relics buried and forgotten in a casket. 6 children. Remembered cinnamon and starlight at the end, but his family believed it was his own distaste at the last meal. Did I feel any of those effects, or did Amelia feel any of those effects when we did our wedding ceremony?
You did not.
Well, I remember we saw a shadowy figure.
Yes, as if you were being watched. You weren't. Perhaps it's because you. It might be. It wasn't a magical effect that was going. It's just the fact that he was reusing this thing that meant so much to him.
Yeah, he was obviously doing something distasteful.
Yes, it wasn't that it was magically inclined. It was wrong.
Sure, but we didn't experience.
You
that.
did not.
Okay, cool. No, that was awesome. Thank you. I will jump back into the other room so you can grab. Who you want me to grab?
We'll figure it out. But yeah.
Good shit. Thank you.
Oh my god, they're back.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
All right.
Hey, cuties.
There was
Where?
some. It feels like stuff that Ito suspected, but stuff that's been confirmed now about his and his family's character and past. But yeah, Well, and it was just let's see, Gus
Yeah, he was-
took Kalam, and
Gustav.
Gustav Tangaroa,
Tangaroa, yeah.
and
Whew.
also Adelaide.
I mean, Connor, it's admittedly tough syllable because apparently, like, the Maori people pronounce ROA as like a W kind of thing, so it's like fucking weird.
Tangaroa.
Tangaroa.
Yeah, it's like there's the R's still there, but there's also a fucking
All right,
W, and it's weird.
Beaver, you do see something, but it's gonna be a lot shorter. It's a lot
Yeah.
less important for your character about
I was
what
really
you
hoping
see.
Colin was gonna say, Beaver, you don't see anything. None of your
You do-
ancestors give a shit.
You do see something, but it is... In fact, I'm not even gonna pull you to your own scene, because it's kind of inconsequential to your character. But you... your eyes sort of... You blink, and then you blink again, looking up at the beautiful sort of clouded sky above the Tidewater Hollow, and you blink again, and when your eyes open, it's a beautiful unclouded sky over Tidewater Hollow. Slightly different location. You're standing within a clearing on the heart, or within the heart of the jungle. Specifically, you find that you're in the body of a woman.
Happens.
Training
The dream.
to
Yep.
be a high priestess. You carefully prepare what appears to be a poison of some sorts. Kraken's Bane poison. And you blink, and then you blink again, and your eyes open up, sailing atop, on a surprisingly large, like, dugout canoe. Far out away from, well away from Tidewater Hollow. You no longer see it, but you stand in a hunting party of maybe a dozen. Rough spears have been coated with the actual, like poison as you wait to hunt the Kraken. And then a single tentacle just reaches up out the water, and as you lift the spear up, it pierces the tentacle and it withdraws, letting out a howl of pain, but that single prick does little to stop it. It just slams down onto the actual canoe itself, cracking it in half, stranding everybody. You clutch to the remnants as you and the rest of your group are separated. Blink. Blink again, and your eyes open amidst basically the entire ocean barren in front of you. No one around you, no islands to be seen, no hope. The thirst burns in you as you look up at the sun that scorches down, blistering your skin, and you wait to die. Wait to be eaten by the Kraken.
Oh.
But it doesn't ever come. The sea begins to roil around you and bubble, and you're sure that it's the beast come to finish off the job. But it's not. First, a tree crests out the water, a great palm frond rising up, and then another, and soon an island just lifts itself up beneath you. As you find yourself atop the back of a great turtle, a dragon turtle, its shell a massive island. It's covered in sort of trees and vines and undergrowth, even little bits of sand collected around the edges of the shell. As you sit there, breathing heavily, and as you sort of look up at the sky, there's a sweet smell in the air, unlike anything that is native to the actual Tidewater Hollow. It's smell you've only heard out and about you were trading, it's the smell of cinnamon in the air.
Oh, Colin, you're a bastard.
As a hand, gentle and soft, places itself on your shoulder, and you snap awake. Gus, you're now back in your own body.
I'm just like panting and looking around, trying to assess my surroundings, like Ito and Adelindra. Are they out of it?
Adelaide is still stuck. Her eyes sort of rolled back in her head, her body sort of taut. As she clutches her hands into fists, almost sort of staring up at the sky. Guess I should see what she rolls for her wisdom saving throw. Does she die here? No.
Colin, I swear to God.
That disappointment in his voice.
One thing, she's within 10 feet of Ito, so she does get the bonus.
Yeah.
Also, her wisdom is okay. She got like a, what's your bonus?
Charisma modifier, +5.
She got like a
+5.
Got like a 25 on her wisdom save.
Hell yeah. Do I need to make any?
No. Yours is such a small and brief thing that it wouldn't have time to clutch onto. Connor had to make like 3.
3.
Adelaide only has to make 1 because hers is also relatively short. As with a gasp, she kind of collapses on the ground. She like coughs violently. And sort of looks down at the ground as if she's expecting to be like coughing up blood. As she sort of runs her hand in the sand, as she says, I was dying.
Actually, Colin, I do have a question.
Yep.
If I'm conscious, before Adelaide is conscious, I would like to cast Detect Thoughts on her.
So,
Alright.
Do I get anything?
It's, you get, just abject, pain. As if she was under just huge amounts of pain and sorrow. And at the same time, grit and determination.
Oh, Jesus, sorry. Okay. Can I probe deeper to get a little bit further?
You can. What's that? It's a DC.
It's a wisdom save.
Is she getting a bonus to this because she's next to you, or?
Hang on, what's that weird search?
What's the what?
Yeah, you have. Hold on, let me.
Oh
What's
yeah,
the
wild
weird
magic
search?
surge.
That's right.
No, it doesn't.
It's a,
there's no.
that was at a
Look
third.
at you casting willy-nilly.
There's no weird magic surge.
Okay, that was at a 3rd level as opposed to a 2nd level.
There's no weird magic surge.
Okay.
But does she make the wisdom save with a bonus or not? Do you get to choose if they have that bonus or?
That's a good question. Hang on. Things that don't come up frequently.
Well, first let's roll to see. Oh, her getting the bonus might make the difference. So.
Starting at 6th level, whenever you or a friendly creature within 10 feet of you. So it does not specify that I get a choice. She is friendly to me, so I would say she gets it.
Then she, it's a DC 18. She just passes.
Okay.
She like almost sort of like on her hands and knees in the ground. She like skitters away almost as if she's terrified.
Of the probing or of what she was
of whatever she was seeing.
Okay.
Just but with the TikTok, she has pain, sorrow, and at the same time, grit, determination. And she skitters. Actually, is Henley there?
I mean, if this is a group event thing, then yeah, I'll be there.
She'll skitter. She like terrified, rushes to you and sort of pulls herself up and is just breathing heavily.
I hold her and comfort her, and I kind of look at Ito like I didn't expect it to be me.
Bro, you're a Marine.
That's fucked up.
You didn't stand a chance.
I don't eat crayons.
No, you eat pine cones. They haven't been invented yet.
But what's the APR on your Mustang there, Henley?
Yeah.
Exactly. I eat
Fucking-
scented markers. At least they smell good.
They do
Above
smell
Only
good,
by the
don't
take
they?
this bitch to the courthouse.
And she sort of, after having a moment, sort of breathing heavily, she sort of calms down. She sort of smutters and says, I saw Magden.
Yep.
What did he say? Or do? I don't know how all this works.
Maybe we should talk about this in private quarters.
I thought this whole thing was private, is why I wasn't.
I thought we were on
chiming
like a
in.
beach or
It's
lagoon or
no,
something.
it's on the beach because they had to go into the water naked and sort of cleanse
And
themselves
fug.
and drink. But
You right?
breathing heavily, I saw Magden. And she sort of smiles and she says, I saw again. And he was beautiful. I saw Hedwig.
Colin, who's Hedwig? I might have missed
Hedwig
that.
von Richten was the first Blessing of the Forge, the original emperor, the one who walked across the Horkrieg Channel and brought the fight straight to the lands of Black Everfrost.
You let him get started, Rick.
And then Magden was her dad, right?
Magden is an ancestor.
Wasn't
and our ancestor. Okay.
wasn't Hedwig the one that fucking crucified people?
That was not. That was, I
Okay.
believe, Hilda. Hedwig was
That's-
the first.
That sounds right.
The one that ripped the heart from the King of Everfrost.
Isn't he also the guy who killed all the clan leaders?
Yes, he united all the clans.
'Cause we had that one ghost dude who helped us out.
Yes,
Who was pissed off at him.
He walked across the Horkrieg Channel during the first age of ice, taking the fight to the lands of Black Everfrost. He returned alone, having carved the heart from the King of Everfrost, and from there he united the clans, conquering the final Elkhart tribe to found the Kingdom of Eisenfeld, which eventually became the Empire Stahlreich. So he was the first of her lineage, essentially, that was like a king or an emperor. The one that received the first blessing of the Forge at the Great Rotsfjord Peak, where he learned to make iron, and using those iron weapons were able to actually fight the raiders of Black Everfrost. That's what she saw, alongside Magden, who stood against the Jinma dynasty, who fought at the Strait of Bayaz, which was later named the Red Straits because during that fight there was so much bloodshed it has caused essentially the strait to run red ever since. It's always had a red tint, and it's said because of the blood that was spilt during that fight, the fight of Magden's Stand, where he had the prophecy of Magden's fall, which you know is the important prophecy that you've been following. She had all these visions, and you know that Gen Magden's true love was by his side during all that happened, so she had all that in her head too. So she is understandably not wildly forthcoming afterwards, merely muttering that she saw Magden and she saw Hedwig. But you don't know what that means. It might be something you have to coax out of her. But there's been some important stuff that was heard today. The culmination of, at this point, 2+ years of story building.
It's good shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I asked her,
Beavers was actually way more exciting than mine.
what did they
And
do?
That's because it was set up during yours, and whenever
Yeah,
you
no,
heard
that
a
was good.
setup
That's
and
so
payoff,
good.
like,
Oof.
oh. But that'll be next week, because next week she'll talk to you, and you are going to prove yourself. Knowing that the cycle of the Kraken and the Great Turtle can absolutely be altered and changed, you're going to prove yourself by slaying the Kraken. The Kraken itself can never be truly killed, much like the Dragon Turtle cannot be truly killed, unless it's done by a god. But you can reset their cycle, so that the Kraken is not in power whenever the Dragon Turtle is not. Plus, you've been called to hunt it.
Let me go kill Uller, become a god, then I'll go kill it.
We'll come back. Yeah, we'll circle back to here.
Yeah, I'll put a pin in this one.
Yeah.
There was also a nice little nugget of interesting information that was dropped in passing that you might have missed. Talk of primordial ones. Specifically, they said there is a land of primordial ones, specifically like Gabaz al-Gaib. Things that were alive whenever Hasfidel, powerful things, that were alive when Hasfidel the Scourge turned the sky black. But that was pretty quickly glanced over.
Colin just wanted to make sure that
I want to make sure
got it.
everybody got that, though.
Look, all right, he dropped this shit. He wants to make sure that someone caught it.
If I put the fucking work in, you better at least recognize that it's there.
Understood.
Recognize.
Just
These
ignore
motherfuckers
90%.
don't appreciate anything I do.
But
They're not catching my subtle references. I gotta spell it out for them.
that's where we're gonna end it this week. Next week, you'll be dealing with the Kraken, and potentially more of Ito's stuff, as well as to a lesser extent Gus's. And after that, onwards to Bayaz Kum Lahar. We'll see how that goes next week.